Yo, did you like? I'm watching it, and then halfway through, I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, they were. Yes,
You are now tuned
You are
in.
now tuned in to the greatest blood podcast in the world. You're welcome in advance.
Smell another classic.
We're here for the jokes. We don't do lazy. It's
Make sure the
extra
camera's on them,
gravy.
please.
You're a clown.
He didn't see, did he?
I didn't see it. I just saw that. Oh, that's sick. That's sick. Hell yeah.
I'm Marlon.
Can you turn my... Oh.
I'm Norm.
And I'm Alicia.
And welcome back to the Extra Gravy Show.
What number is mine? Turn it up a little.
Is that
Sorry.
more? Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's me too.
Maybe, I don't
No,
know. Is
no,
that you?
this one's mine.
There
That
you
was
go.
me.
Okay, I'll put you back, Nora.
But down.
Down?
Like, yeah. There.
All right.
Down. There we go.
We back. Sunglasses and Advil.
Oh, yeah. I'm Norm Jr. That's
Norm
what I am.
Jr. She does not have a hangover. She's
Norm
just
squared.
she's just Norm. She's feeling normal.
Yo, you know how many people are hitting me up like, yo, man, because you be rocking scarves this summer, bro. The babushka look, you know?
I've
the
honestly
Russian
seen
grandma.
all. I've only seen Filipino guys do this.
Yeah?
Like
And
it's like
Filipino
a,
girls, too.
It's like a wave within
Like
the community.
Sandra did it. I saw Sandra do it, too.
Some American guys were like, yo, man, what's with the scarves, bro? I need to be put on these scarves. So I went to a party and I brought extra scarves and I was like, here guys, let me don the scarf on you real quick.
Everybody's
Shit,
getting scarfed out.
you know,
We need some extra gravy scarves.
buddy. And everyone's like,
So
what's
what-
the new
Yo,
trend? What's the new trend?
To
I'm
be
like,
honest, the scarf is for y'all. It's
Oh, nice.
for YE, yeah.
Oh, it's nice. Big up for y'all. Trey J with the bandana.
wow, this is top-notch scarf right here.
Yeah, very silky smooth.
Very silky.
You know, my fascinations for scarves happened in Taiwan. I was walking through their garment district, and then I just seen all these scarves that were 50 cents each. And I'm like, yo, there's a
So
way
many?
to freak these. They just look so dope. So I just bought a whole bunch of them, and I brought them back home, and I tried to rock them different ways. I wore one for my first taping when I did the Kevin Hart shit. I wore a fedora and a scarf.
Wow.
Sometimes I'm like, what was I thinking?
You were GQ'd out, man, back
Yeah,
then.
yeah. But I wasn't even I was just wearing khakis and a Uniqlo shirt.
It was very you though. Like nobody
Yeah,
else. It was like
it was me.
your style. Like
Yeah.
nobody else had it.
But then now, now these scarves are coming back, I guess. But I like I said, I was doing it only because I was told about my
Your
skinny
neck
neck,
was skinny.
you know. But then it became a thing where I'm just like, now I can't leave the house without grabbing one. I literally have a big bin.
So now is that
out-
going to be your thing? You know what they say is you have like a really good brand and image if people can dress up as you for Halloween. So
That's
this could
true.
be your thing now.
Touche.
The scarves.
Touche.
So people would be able to dress up.
Touche.
They have something.
Yeah.
You know?
Touche.
Hell yeah, I think so. And then just put like some of those the black gum between the tooth, so it looks like they got the split gap.
Oh my gosh.
Why? What is that for?
It's really
Oh,
want to
damn.
You gotta put the gap. That's like when anybody draws me,
brother.
like when
I
kids
meant
draw
gap
me,
is-
when
wearable.
people
I meant
draw
something wearable.
me. Yeah, but I'm just saying. But you said dress up for Halloween.
You got to
so
think of
like,
what a caricature drawing would look like. What's
Yeah.
going to be exaggerated?
they would exaggerate the gap and put a really really thin Rico Suave stash over my lip. Every child that draws me does
What
that.
would be yours?
I don't think I have one. I don't have one.
You don't have anything?
You would just be towering
Tall,
over everyone.
probably. Yeah, probably just tall with kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
tall
it would
with
be like
kicks.
Sneakers on. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Man, I'm so mad. I was gonna put on Jordans today too, but I
And remember like how
Don't
Amber
worry, they can't see it.
remember how Amber Rose always used to wear the sunglasses, and that kind of she had sunglasses and a bald head. So that kind of was her staple as well.
Cassie with the shaved side.
Yeah, Nicki Minaj at first, she used to have the
pink,
pink hair,
yep,
whether it was
yep.
a full wig or the under, the peekaboo.
Drake's entire career has been defined by his hair. Every era of Drake is a new hairstyle. We talked about this before. Like how,
I think
how
Kendrick
important.
was too. Kendrick and Jay-Z.
J. Cole as well.
Yeah,
J.
they've-
Cole. Like they've all. I feel like that's a very subtle but important way of changing your branding project to project. Like every Drake project is a new look.
New
Certified Lover
haircut.
Boy, he had the heart in his hair.
Yeah.
Now he's braids. Then he had just the waves. Then he had the bald head with the beard and the goatee.
right.
And remember, every Brampton man just switched it up. Every
Yeah,
time he
every
switched
time.
it, they switched it until Nav came around. They're like, that's us.
There we go. Let's get the Caesar cut.
That's us. We're navving it out, baby.
Taper Caesar.
But even with like Ice Spice and her orange little fro,
I haven't seen
now,
anybody copy that. That's the one, I think, because of how much people made fun of it. It became her look, but because people saw how much people were making fun of it, I haven't seen any girls like,
I don't think it's necessarily about copying it now, but it's makes
Standing
her
out.
distinct.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Or even like with Beyonce with blonde hair. She's pretty much had blonde hair the whole time.
Yeah.
Whenever she does have dark hair, it was very
like
brief.
alter ego, no?
And no, not even. And nobody really liked it.
Has she
like,
ever
have a
had black
period-
hair?
Yeah, she
That
did.
Pepsi
It was brown.
What was that Pepsi commercial where there's like a bunch of Beyonces and there's like different eras of Beyonce in
I
a
remember
mirror.
there was a green dress. She had a brown.
She looks really good with different colored hair too, man. Like really good.
But they say that darker hair ages you. So
That makes sense.
this.
Oh, wow. I
Yeah.
like that Beyonce. What? Come on
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I saw that and I was like, good Lord.
She looks great.
Fire. Absolutely fire with the black hair. Yeah, no. Man, imagine if Beyonce played at Bana. What would happen?
You know she'd been to Bana before? I remember the year. It was like
Wait.
2002.
That's his child's.
It was 2002, and she was on a float with Jay-Z.
Wow.
And-
Already?
Yeah.
This is
That's 2002.
that's right before Bonnie and Clyde. Wow. So
Maybe it was
What?
2003 then.
yeah, because Bonnie and Clyde was 03, no?
Yeah,
03, Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so maybe
it was-
03.
Well, whatever. It was that time because
Mm-hmm.
I know I was in middle school, and there was I think like 1.3 million people that came out, and it was on the Toronto Sun, and they had a photo of like the crowd and like Beyonce and Jay-Z on the float.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And now it would make even more sense because they're part Jamaican. Well, part-time Jamaican. Like, there's so much Jamaican influence in their songs. They
Yeah.
take mad trips to Jamaica. Like,
Yeah, but
He's
think
a
about
dr-
it.
he's
If
got
we
locks
had
now?
Beyonce
he's
there,
got locks. Beyonce there.
that
Wow.
would shut down
Who's she playing for?
the life. Well, not Adidas anymore, so Adidas has a float
Oh yeah,
with
I
Carnival
mean,
Nation, so
like-
she wouldn't be playing with
Oh.
Adidas. If she was still sponsored.
that's over.
They had
Yeah,
Ivy Park.
Free agent,
Yeah,
freedom mass.
yeah, that was mine.
It would be Carnival Rock Nation.
The only Jamaican one.
Carnival Rock Nation is stupid. You're dumb. Yeah, man. Bana was great. The whole weekend was really fun. I love just seeing how happy people are. That's like my main thing. Summer in general is like that, but I feel like obviously Bana weekend is just an extra level of like not caring about what people like. It's the one weekend where people in Toronto, and I feel like this is why it feels so relaxing. Everyone in Toronto's like, oh, I can dance and not be judged.
Yeah.
Because
True.
like this weekend is for dancing.
Yeah,
Whereas every other weekend outside of this is like, oh, I gotta look cool. I gotta,
yeah.
you know what I mean? And I'm finding more and more that I used to think that was the party scene in Toronto in general. But I'm finding it's just like certain sects of the party scene. Like there are tons of parties that you can have a great time. And I think this weekend was like proof of that. Cozy was amazing on Thursday. And every night, like it was so dope waking up in the morning and just laying down with a split,
looking
just
through
going
everybody's
through the
shit.
stories and seeing like, what did you do? What did you do? And
I
just
love
seeing
doing
so
that.
many dope things
Where were
that
you
were happening.
guys?
Yeah, like where were you
What
guys?
was your costume looking like?
Like, did I make the wrong choice? Did I go to the wrong event? Let's see. Like,
Yeah.
and yeah, man, Tantalization on Friday was dope at Lobby. Shout out to Femi.
I saw he had a truck too.
Yeah, he had his truck too. Big Tantalization wave, and they were playing the Afrobeats and the Jamaican music. And Saturday, I went to the parade for like 2 hours. Saw like 3 trucks. It was not the best time. And I mean, I really didn't plan on staying long anyways. I had to host a day party at Lavelle, which, y'all fix the speakers, man. I don't know what's going on there. Fix the speakers. That shit was
horrible.
crazy. It was bad. But the party was good.
But the speakers were
The speakers was just like, yeah, like the music, the DJs, everything was on point.
The cabana the cabana party looked crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
But it
I
also
mean,
seemed like that was the people that weren't gonna go to.
It's always
stage,
it's always
you know?
that. It's like the people that didn't go to Veld and didn't go to Bana, they go to Cabana.
Yeah.
And you watch the baby or Tyga perform every year.
And Flow Rida.
It has nothing to do
Unless
with
it's
Caravana.
Soak or Die, which is
Well,
was
yeah.
on the Thursday.
And Rehab on the Monday.
yeah.
But then I'm thinking, then there's also like all the other ones that are far at like Markham Fairgrounds and like.
Tsunami looked unbelievable,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
I was told it depended on where you were and who you went with. Like, because if you guys been to Tsunami or heard about Tsunami,
Yeah,
I've
I know
never
what
been.
it is.
so Tsunami used to be at like 55 Nugget in Scarborough, and it used to be at the back of this place.
I think
and
I
it's
went.
Like
It was-
water hoses.
Yeah, it was like a broke down building type
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah. And the back is just like they have this big water truck
Yeah.
with a big hose. And they're spraying everybody in the party like throughout the party randomly. And then there's like big jugs of water. People all have like water guns and water balloons, and it's just a wet fet, essentially. And I feel it's so interesting with Carnival. Like the older you get, because the older you get, the more complaints you hear. Right? The younger you are,
You don't care.
you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Right? Because you haven't been around.
You just happen
enough.
to be there.
Yeah.
You just happen to be there, and you want to have fun. You're not really focused on any of that. Now that you're older, and
You start forming your own opinion.
Forming your
on
own
what you
opinion,
like and what you don't like.
basing it on previous years when you didn't care as much, which is not fair. So
Yeah.
it's like you constantly see people scrutinize events that they used to love, right? And I feel like that's just natural with any event. Like people are gonna grow out of the event.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any party, specifically parties, where you can keep all age demographics happy, and especially the people who came when it was only 100 people and you're in a basement, like
Yeah.
Henny Palooza. 100
Used to be
people in a
small,
basement
small.
eating chicken and drinking
Yeah.
bottles of Henny. Everybody had a bottle of Henny. Everybody had chicken. Now when you got 2,000, 3,000 people, you got to go to the bar to get Henny.
Yeah.
And your
not
friend
the
doesn't
same.
have a bucket of chicken on them. And it's
Yeah.
like, and now you're like, oh, it's not the same.
It's not the
It's not the same.
But
And that was
people
what
have
they
to grow.
wanted. They
And
wanted to grow.
They wanted to grow, and they're not catering to you anymore. They're catering to the person who's it's their first time there. They've never experienced this before, and they want to have a good time. They've heard about this.
Yeah.
For the rest of those people, just live with the nostalgia. Like at the end of the day, we gotta stop complaining about why things aren't the way they used to be. When this party now has 5,000 people, and when you went, there's 400.
Yeah.
Like
When I'm doing Bear Jokes 5-year anniversary, and I'm nervous because everyone that I used to smoke blunts with also don't smoke blunts anymore. So I'm like, this is gonna be interesting to see who comes out to smoke blunts,
Right?
You know, when I don't even smoke blunts
yeah,
anymore.
they might be growing out of that event. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? So it's like you might be growing out of that event, and that's the other thing. It's like as the event thrower, I might not want to throw that anymore.
Yeah.
that's not. I don't
You might
enjoy
wanna
that anymore.
change.
Day and Night's coming back. You know? So
I was at Jason November Nights DJ'd at Lavelle on the Saturday.
Yeah.
And he showed me the flyer and he's like, yo, I'm gonna post this tomorrow. I'm like, people are gonna lose their minds. Like,
Yeah.
because the day he flew back to Toronto, people were already like, yo, you gotta throw another day and night, bro.
Yeah.
And this is it's gonna be mad fun, man. I'm excited.
It's gonna be a reunion.
And I told my girl, I'm like, she's like, what's so like special about this party? I'm like, honestly, it's just the
shit.
people. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
always the
like
people.
it's not like they play
You
different music.
wasn't there.
It's not like that you play like it's
Yeah.
there's nothing different about this experience. You're gonna go there and you're gonna party and go home like you would at any other party. But you have to understand at the time when Day and Night back in like 2011, 12, when it's on Sky Bar, which doesn't exist anymore, government on top of government. And you're in the party chilling and you see the same people every week. It's like a church almost.
Yeah.
But it's like people you want to see.
Yeah.
And everyone's breasted.
You knew that they were going to be there.
You knew they were gonna
your
be
friends
there.
were going to be there.
Yeah, and you know that there's food on the drum pan early. Get there early for your jerk chicken sandwich or some doubles or a patty or something. And not a lot of parties were like that at that time. So at that time, it was like, yo, this is like a vibe. Plus, you're there around 8, 7:30. LeBron will walk in.
Yeah.
Drake will walk in. anybody will just walk into this party and you're like, what is that? So it's, and you're right there with them and they're partying, you're partying, nobody's bugging them, everybody's just having a good time. And the other thing with day and night, almost all the event throwers went to day and night. So it's like all the producers are there. You know what I mean? Like you want to be in the mix of that. And that's kind of how I grew some relationships, was going to events like day and night. Like that's where I met Jason. Right. And little things like those, these little third places can really set you up for life low key. Like you don't realize hanging out at a party could put you onto business deals 5-6 years later.
Yeah. Being
Like,
around them.
Just being around them.
The people that were moving at that time.
You get memorable. You have memorable experiences that you could share and like look back to and say, "Yo, remember that one time at day and night?" And then boom, that one connection can be like, "Hey, man, yo, we should work some more in the future."
You go to day and night, you have good. It's like getting the right pair of sneakers.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you wear those? All right, I can fuck with
It's
you.
like golfers. Like if golf heads, once they find out you play golf,
yeah.
it's like an instant.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and you could be a hood man playing golf.
Does not matter.
With a freaking rich, millionaire dude. But the fact that you could teach him something on a swing, he'll be like, "Hey man, let's talk. Let's hang out. What do you do?"
Well,
You know
speaking about teaching something on a swing,
What?
July
This
11th.
could go bad.
July 7th, sorry. July 7th, 1911. Hold on, let me get the right music for this.
Okay.
July 7th, 1911, Nathaniel Alexander of Lynchburg, Virginia, invented and patented the folding chair. Alabama River, Montgomery Riverfront Park was a place where they used to sell and ship niggas. And on August 5th, 2023,
the folding chair
was used with the niggas. It
to
was
exact justice, revenge,
vengeance. Vengeance is mine.
and retribution.
It was a time. So I'm at Bana, leaving. Let's go on Twitter for a second. Second post I see is this video, right? And I'm watching this video. I'm like, yo, what's happening? Didn't really think much of it. Like, I saw the fight happen, but I only saw like from across. You know that one angle that was from across, the first angle that dropped?
Yeah.
Because about 400 angles dropped.
Afterwards, yeah.
The first angle that dropped was across the river, right? And you just seeing this black dude who looks like security or something fighting this white guy. Nigga throws his hat up like Shmurda and just starts getting busy. And I'm like, the way he got busy is like, especially, I think what really made the video especially enticing to me is the large crowd. Like, I thought somebody had dubbed over WWE music or something. Like, it was
When
the
you see
crowd
the
from
other
boat.
view, you see how big the boat was. I didn't think it was that big with that many people on it.
People at the pier too, like just everybody screaming. And so now I'm looking at that and they're fighting. And to be honest, let's be real. White boy was fooding him at first. By himself. By himself. Like,
The moment that one dude ran in, that's when I was like, okay, it's gonna be.
But he was already losing, and at that point, it was like, oh, he's finished. And I thought at first it looked like they were running to stop their boy, and then they immediately just
jumped
went.
on. Yeah.
And I still don't have context. I don't know what's going on, but I'm like, that is incredibly brave, or they're incredibly racist to be a mob of white people and not notice the optics right now. Like, this looks crazy.
Yeah.
And so I didn't think anything of it. Hours later, Matt Lavelle, speaker's bad. Go back on Twitter. See another angle. I'm like, what's going on, bro? And more people are talking about it now, right? And this angle was now the black guys coming to help, right? So I had not seen anybody come to help. I assumed homie got jumped, and that was it. And
homie getting jumped and homie jumping into the water. Breaking
By the way,
stereotypes.
16-year-old young man. Shout out to him. 16-year-old young
said,
man.
I'm out.
Jumped into the river, full clothes,
shoes on,
shoes on. He didn't take his shoes off until he landed. Yeah. I wonder. That boy got out of the water and said, "All right, nigga, let's get it."
I wonder if he took his phone out.
I don't know.
His wallet.
Must
phone.
have. Like, he swam over, and it took him a while. I was like,
Yo, you know how tired
that boy is dead.
I don't know how much he's gonna help with how much time. Like he burns so much energy just to get there. He gets out. You see him like,
bro. The man got out and then German suplexed the nigga twice his size, a grown man. I was like, where is it? That is that 16-year-old energy. You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy. They called him. What were they calling him? C Murder.
It's that
they called him Johnny Gills
coming in.
Someone called him 21 Salmon. It was just Aquaman. They were going crazy, and it was one of those moments where you're realizing, like it always happens this way. Whenever Twitter has a day, you realize it really early for some reason. I don't know about. Do you guys really realize it early that it's about to be a thing? Bro, when those niggas, that second angle came and those niggas ran down, shirt off already, and they did that little hop. When they got to them, they did that little skip.
The skip and pull their pants up one time.
Yo, and they're not, when you see a black man skipping towards you and nodding his head while holding his pants, it's a wrap for you, dog. Those mans came and ripped up the boat.
Yeah.
He slapped him in the face first and then just started ripping up the boat, bro.
Just going Ultimate Warrior. Like, you're not going to break the pontoon, man. Like,
dog.
But
and
so funny.
And then you see reinforcement. White boys
come in.
pull up all of a sudden and get their ass beat immediately.
But I was pretty amazed and impressed at the courage of the white guys. Still like, come on, let's go.
Bro.
But that's straight alcohol. 100% that's alcohol.
Alcohol and fueled racism. Like,
come on. It's my family against all y'all.
Dog.
But I love that one post that you guys sent in the group where it's like, turns out 65-year-olds can throw a punch. I was like,
with all his black eyes and stuff.
The black eyes, tissue in his nose.
Yeah.
Turns out that 65-year-old man could really fucking throw him.
Could really fucking throw them.
Like,
really
I feel like that
them.
was the perfect way to just admit, yeah, we fucked up. Without having to be like, hey, I'm so sorry. It's like, hey, man.
Shit. Yo, shit didn't get real until the extended Avengers Endgame cut hit the timeline. I saw 8 minutes. I said, let me sit down. I'm in the party, bro. I'm like, let me sit down and watch this. And I'm sitting there. Yo, I didn't realize until like halfway through how hard I was smiling. Yo, did you realize? I'm watching it, and halfway through, I'm like,
Yeah.
Bro, they were fucking, and it's like you could watch it 20 times and see something new. A girl gets dashed in the pool.
Oh yeah.
A next man willingly jumps into the pool
to get away.
It's not a pool, guys.
Or
into the water. Yo, and then there's a man on the boat going, yo, 2 just went off into the water. 2 in the water. Yo.
The funniest one I saw was when they showed the girls freaking Crocs, and they're like,
oh,
that's what happens when you don't use sport mode.
A man said, yo, they turned their Crocs into alligators. I was done. And God bless this patron saint. This great journalist.
Because the Marriott couldn't dock, so the folks could get off, and everybody on the slipper cycle, we just waited. Why these folks that swung on and jumped on this black man, baby? The crew member that jumped off the Marriott, baby. They whooping ass, baby.
Her commentary was just amazing. Like, and so I'm like, okay, cool, this is dope. Like maybe an hour later, new footage, another angle, a different fight. It wasn't even the same fight. I'm like, there's more. What's happening?
It just kept going.
I'm like, what is this race war?
Snowball effect.
It was crazy. And this one was a little different because not only was there a folding chair involved, right? But there was like, these were old blacks. These are blacks that have been called nigger, okay? Probably seen segregated schools.
Yeah.
and probably face all types of just microaggression all the
Not
time.
even micro.
That man took that chair and let out every piece of pain he's had for white people in his life. Man hit the pole, man hit the man hit his girl. Like, he didn't care. And that last one, I seen the cops and I'm like, no, don't do it. Don't do it.
right away.
Bow! Cuffed. Immediately.
And then tried to fight off the cops too.
He didn't though. They were just being, you know how cops are extra. Because
looked
you're
like he was
watching him
trying
say,
to-
I'm not resisting. He even willingly puts his hands behind his back and the guy's still trying to rough him up. I'm like, you fuck boys. Like,
And wasn't it a black guy?
and it was
too?
a black cop, hand on it, knee on the back of his head.
Chop.
I'm like, yo, fuck these guys, bro. And they were arresting the black people only at first. Don't think I ain't peep. They're arresting only the black people at first until this patron saint, this black woman, walked down to them and explained exactly what happened. And then they started rounding up the white boys and arresting them. It was one of the best days on Twitter.
I mean, I'm not one to ever, you know, I don't
Encourage
condone
violence.
anybody hitting a woman, any man hitting a woman. And when I saw that, my first reaction was like, oh no, not for the police, bro. You're gonna have a record from now on. But then the more I watch it, and the more I saw the instigation, I'm just like, hey man, karma's a bitch, you know?
Well, I mean, they say
Honestly,
you can
all
hit,
you had to do was
can hit a
move.
guy 3 times and then he can hit back. That's the law.
Depends on how hard you hit. I feel like if you're not hurting me, that's just crazy.
But the girl
Oh,
was
you hit me 3
sitting
times,
on-
bitch. Bow. Like
She was
that's
on the ground, sitting up, about to get up on the dock and
He's just about
pop, like whack-a-mole.
whack-a-mole. That man said, "Bow."
You know what? He probably didn't even realize it was like a woman.
Oh
or
no,
not,
he
you know?
realized. He walked up. He had about 4-second walk up.
No, but I'm saying like sometimes when you're in that moment, you don't actually even realize what the fuck is like going on because you just have so much anger. So he was just like bop 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 bop. He probably didn't even know it was a woman.
I mean, shit. He found out. He found out eventually. Cause
I see some TikToks of like just black people at Walmart just like looking at chairs, just going through, seeing
Yup.
which one like I
fam,
like this one.
the content that this created was otherworldly. I seen a nigga doing chair jitsu. Now he's practicing just swinging the chair.
Chair Kwando.
Chair Kwando. Niggas is doing all types of shit, bro. It was incredible. They were changing old legendary like black paintings to include the chair. Did you see that? You remember the black painting where they're all dancing? They included like 2 chairs. And yo, at first I was like, yo, this might incite a race war. Like I was really thinking about, I was like, yo,
In Alabama?
This might be like a catalyst for like a race war. Like this is fucked. Plus you're in the South, like there's a lot. And that, which I think maybe if this was caught on camera in the 90s, like Rodney King, I think this is one of those moments that would have created like disarray in America. But now it's like, we see this all the time.
Yeah,
It's
this is
like,
regular.
It ain't nothing, but it was special because we never seen
So
like
many people.
you've probably seen it somewhere, somehow, in some way, but we've never on camera seen strange black people unite. All strangers like just reunited on one accord
open.
with no words spoken.
Yeah.
Like it was beautiful. And they won. Like that was the best
they
part.
won.
And they won. And it wasn't close.
Seeing the Black Panther on the podium holding the
Oh
hand up
my,
while
with the
holding
chair.
freaking chair. Yeah.
Fam,
I was like, "This is so good."
And I noticed, I'm like, honestly, this is what, it was like a microcosm. It was like you're seeing what white people really fear about us is they attack us
They're scared of the groups.
and we want
numbers.
revenge, right? And if we do want revenge, united, we cannot fall. And I was like, and the motivations are different, coming from 2 different places. One is from love and one is from complete fear.
Yeah.
Like, and love is busting fear's ass. So I was like, yo, it just made me proud, man. I don't like violence and all that type of shit, but damn.
One good. What did they say? What does Stone Cold Steve Austin say? One good can open whoop ass.
What can of whoop ass? A can of whoop ass?
Yeah.
Open a can of whoop ass.
Yeah,
Isn't that The Rock?
No,
That's
it's
Stone
Stone
Cold?
Cold Steve Austin. Yeah.
Open a can of whoop ass. What? That nigga's hilarious.
Did I send you guys a video of the kid doing it when he got off the bus?
Oh yeah.
With the milk. He says,
That shit was amazing. Yeah, man. It was wow. Just a beautiful display. And shout out to our ancestors who gave us the strength beside the water. The one place we are weak.
Wade in the water.
They were saying fade in the water. Yeah. Niggas said lift every chair and swing. Swing low, sweet chariot. And Boondocks was right again, by the way. Yes. Boondocks does it again. The fucking chair episode.
Really?
Where niggas just start fighting when someone throws a chair.
Oh my god.
Oh man, it really warmed my heart on my birthday. I remember it every birthday. Just great stuff. Just great stuff.
Like, you know how you'll have guys, they have like guys showing that they're carrying guns at their waist.
The Western.
There's this one. This guy had the full freaking chair.
Oh my god.
Coming in his waist, just like
Oh
and
my
he's going
gosh.
like this.
What's that?
Did you see the guy pointing the chair at the wall and there was a red dot? He's like, I keep that thing on me.
There's so much.
There's so many. I was dying, bro.
The
people
open
that
carry license.
the people that went to the boat the next day and found the chair and took a group picture with the chair.
Oh my gosh.
With the dent in it and everything. I was dying, bro.
They said it's legendary.
Even the white people, you see the white people and the black guys that reenacted it, made a whole movie about it. I was dying, bro.
What I liked is that there was no gunshots.
Straight fisticuffs, baby.
There were no shots fired by the
Old
cops,
school.
by anybody carrying guns. Nobody pulled the trigger. So that to me was like, that was very old school of them.
Very old school. In other news, Jamie Foxx has been back for like, what, 2 weeks? He was dead 2 weeks ago. And Jennifer Aniston is already trying to get him out of here. Jamie Foxx put in his Insta story. They killed this dude named Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you? Fake friends, fake love. And apparently Jennifer Aniston liked this post, right? Now, first of all, what's wrong with the post?
I don't know. I guess because it brought up Jesus.
Bring up Jesus is wrong?
No, but that's what. Aren't they complaining about that?
He could have easily said Judas. He could easily said anybody, but we get the context.
But
I got the context.
Yeah.
I didn't get the context at all.
I don't
because
understand
black people
why.
say this all the time.
DJ Khaled
It's-
says they all the time. It's
But-
they who are coming. Like they don't want us to see us win. You know.
Yeah, like you're just gonna attach it when okay, if someone subtweets, unless it really does apply to you, are you gonna feel a way about it?
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't, unless you really did some shit to feel that way. Like, they killed this dude named Jesus. Not one time in my mind did I think of Jewish people.
Yeah. So was there some type of history?
I thought that.
Jews killed
Really?
Jesus.
Yes.
Oh.
That's what is being said. That's
But-
what their
Gotcha.
narrative they're going with.
But then I guess the explanation around it was like, well, at that point, Romans were taking over, rah, 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 and I'm just like, okay, now you're going into semantics. And
Fucking hell, bro! Like it's a figure of
really,
speech.
yeah? Did you really have to go into history to break down this one small little?
Yes, because they
tweet?
want it to be bad that badly. Like everything has to be a thing. Like it's insane, bro. They killed this dude named Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you? Fake friends, fake love. Clearly talking about Judas. Clearly talking about being betrayed by someone you thought is a friend. What does that have to do with Jewish people? And if you're now inserting yourself into it, doesn't that make you guilty of this? Because now you've inserted yourself?
Yeah, I
Not
know
because he
Judas is
said it?
Jewish, but not all Jews. It's like, no, it's just
We didn't
Judas,
say
a
that.
human, a person.
Like we never once said
The
all
12
of you.
disciples.
Like that's so crazy. And then now Jennifer Aniston's dumbass gets online and says, "This really makes me sick. I did not like this post on purpose or by accident." How'd you like it then? If you didn't do it on purpose.
And you didn't do it on
and
accident.
you didn't do it by accident. Are you saying Jamie Foxx took your phone and liked the photo?
So if you don't do something on purpose or by accident,
You didn't
then
do it.
What's the middle point?
Then you didn't do it. Like, that's just that simple. You've never done it.
Someone did it for you?
Right?
Someone pressed the like button for Jennifer.
And more
Aniston.
importantly, I want to be clear to my friends and anyone hurt by this showing up in their feeds. I do not support any form of anti-Semitism. And I truly don't tolerate hate of any kind, period. So someone who is Jewish clearly hit her up and said, "Why the fuck are you supporting this?" Which lit a candle under her, and now it's anti-Semitic. Because Jennifer Aniston went online and said it's anti-Semitic. Not understanding the man just talking about friends. A man who, by the way, she's friends with.
Yeah.
That she could have texted. She could have picked up the phone and called.
Unless she's the friend.
She's the fake
She's
friend.
the fake friend.
Wow.
Touche.
Too fucking shay. Yeah, she's dumb.
But imagine her response. What if it was just towards hatred in general? But then she threw the word anti-Semitism in there. So that's where it's just like, come on, man. You could have just said, "I don't condone any hate whatsoever," and not say anti-Semitism. And it would have been okay, fine. You agree with Jamie. Don't hate.
This creator said it the best.
A lesson in humaning, brought to you by black people. I saw madness going on last night on Twitter from this. Jamie Foxx posted, "They killed this dude named Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you? Hashtag fake friends, hashtag fake love." Now, damn near every black person in America knew exactly what the fuck Jamie Foxx was saying. If you wasn't trying to tap dance for... Now, aside from the fact that reading comprehension failed the majority of the people who were trying to wax poetic on Twitter about this shit being some kind of anti-Semitic trope, which it is not. It's fucking not. Shut the fuck up. It's not. They seem to have also ignored the part that said hashtag fake friends, hashtag fake love. For everyone who was confused, let me help your ridiculous ass out. In the black community, when we say they killed Jesus, we are talking about the world, baby. We're talking about people. We're talking about the fact that in the stories that we were told in the black church growing up, Jesus was innocent, was pure, did not sin. And yet, when it was time for the people to choose between him and Barabbas, the people chose Barabbas. They turned against an innocent Jesus who was out here healing people from all the things and went with a fucking criminal. What that means in the black community is that anybody will turn against your ass. Be careful who you trust because they put an innocent Jesus on the cross, baby. That's what the fuck it means. And
That's what the fuck it means.
That's what the fuck it means.
She said that.
It literally
with
says
her
fake
chest.
friends. Like, how could you misconstrue fake friends with Jewish people?
I don't know.
It's just so crazy to me.
Unless the friend that he was speaking of was Jewish. But no one knows that.
We don't know what who the friend was.
No one knows that context. So to blow it out of proportion like that and force him to apologize, that just goes to show the power that they have to make people feel bad when it wasn't even about you.
It's interesting that it doesn't matter what little thing is, black people have to apologize. But the biggest things happen to us. And
Jamie Foxx
we
did
get
apologize.
no apology for anything. Yeah, he apologized for it.
I mean, he's in Hollywood. He has to.
I guess.
That's crazy. You're Jamie Foxx. I don't think you do.
I mean, his apology wasn't like crazy.
Yeah, it was. I think it was
just
a
like,
very
hey.
good PR move.
I don't think you have to do any of it, period. I don't get why are you apologizing? Especially when you know you did nothing wrong.
Yeah, but he was like, "Listen, if I hurt anybody, my bad. But that wasn't my intent. Come on,
That's
guys."
not
You're
what
Jamie
I
Foxx,
was
man.
talking
Fuck
about.
all that. You're
If
Jamie
he was
Foxx,
like,
bro.
if he went out swinging, I think that would have been worse. But he was just like,
Worse
"Yo,
for
my
who
bad."
though? Like
For
at
his
the end of
own
the
career.
day, his base is black people. That's his base, and we're not gonna abandon him. Like you saw it when he went down. We're not abandoning Jamie Foxx.
No.
We had him. We had his back before any of these people knew who he was. Before Ray. Like so, it doesn't. At the end of the day, that's my thing. It's like when your base is black, why do you give a fuck? You're Jamie Foxx. You do anything, people are there. Doesn't matter. Nobody can stop you. We're in an age where nobody can stop you. Kayla is a prime example. she left InStyle. It's a huge magazine, like huge, and said, "No, I'm gonna work for myself," and is loving it way more. Jamie Foxx can do the same thing.
I mean, if Will Smith can have a fall, can fall from the heights of stardom.
Shit.
Jamie Foxx can too.
I mean, fall from the heights of stardom, but Will Smith's base isn't black people anymore. That's the difference. Black people didn't have Will Smith's back. Some black people did, but it was half and half. It's not
because it was black
black
on black. That's why.
Yeah, I think also because he's
black.
swung on Chris Rock, but also Chris Rock's base isn't black either. Not anymore. It used to be, but I feel like the more he's done away from the black community, people come
still
on,
like him, but he's
everyone
just
still
saying
likes
that
Chris Rock, but I feel
the
like
stuff that he creates isn't for black people necessarily. It's more
Lately.
marketed for the white folks.
yeah, lately. I'd say early first half of his career, very black. Like his specials were very black. Even Good Hair was a documentary that he made, super black. Top 5, a hip hop movie, very black. So like he's done very black things, but I don't think that. I think that you get to a certain point of stardom, especially where people don't associate you with
The black
a
things that are
certain
going on.
demographic anymore. It's like the whole I'm not
Is that like Drake?
thing, I'm OJ. I'm not black, I'm OJ. Like that whole concept, right? I think Chris Rock's not black, he's Chris Rock at this point. And that changes things in public perception. Whereas Jamie Foxx still does nigga shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That
Like
Tyrone.
Jamie Foxx will go on R&B Money podcast. He'll do a little interview with Denzel Washington. He'll do all these very black things, going to Floyd's house. He's tapped in still with the black community. Chris Rock hangs out with Jerry Seinfeld and Bill Burr. You know what I mean? It's like, it's very different optics. So when, in terms of like, and Chris Rock, same thing. If he decides to do his own thing, he has his own core fan base. Like, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
People just don't want to lose out on the parties and the invites. And that's all it is. The perks.
The perks.
You're rich. Make your own perks. That's
True.
my thing. I just don't understand it.
That's your thing with non-rich people too. You said that last week when you said that people here complaining about certain parties and whatever, and you said if there's a gap, fill it then,
Fill it.
and stop complaining.
Stop complaining, man. People complaining is futile. Nobody cares. Like, nobody cares. Kai Cenat. Very prime example. This guy is one of the biggest.
I was like, wait, who the fuck is Kai? And now I know.
He's probably one of the biggest digital creators in the world right now. Aside from like, he's almost getting up there with like a Mr. Beast, honestly. Like, this kid's blowing up. And this situation, I feel like only helped, honestly. He was in New York. I don't know how do you guys know how he told his followers? He told them somehow, in some way, that he would be in New York giving out PS5s, right? So his core fan base, clearly kids that are like between 14 to like 19. And they flocked, came out in the thousands. I mean the thousands.
And
it was
shut down.
It looked like the Puerto Rican Day Parade out there. It was insane, bro. And obviously a crowd that could not be managed, especially something so spontaneous and not planned. And that just turned into mayhem. They tore up the city, jumping on cars, breaking businesses, just looting essentially.
Yeah.
And Kai was arrested in the middle of all that.
For inciting a riot.
For inciting a riot and inciting violence. And there's a number of charges that they're trying to put on him right now. And I just don't understand it. Like, I get it to a certain extent, but
He didn't tell them and
He didn't. I don't think he even realized like it
What was
would be
gonna
like
happen.
that.
Yeah.
Like the last time he was home, it probably wasn't like that, and now he's back home, and life has changed, right? And like he's 20 years old. Who's
He
thinking
doesn't know
about
better.
that? He might know better and just be like, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna shut down the city. Like everyone's gonna talk about this. That at
That's
20
all-
years old, that's
yeah.
all you care about.
Yeah.
Is
It's not
everyone
like
gonna
these were
talk about this?
I wanna go
insurgents
viral.
storming the
Yeah.
It's not like this was insurgents storming the Capitol.
It's
and
kids.
and it was fucking Donald Trump like throwing
Yeah.
little
And
slide
watching
jabs
on a
throughout, you know?
TV in a tent.
And it's not
by-
like he encouraged it. It's not like he said, yo, tear up the city. I want y'all to come out and fuck shit up. Like, you said, I'm giving out PS5s. That's it.
Yeah.
And he was
If-
doing a good thing.
If a riot breaks out because of Rodney King, are you gonna blame Rodney King now?
They did.
They charged Rodney King for inciting a riot.
No, but I mean, like, they blamed that. Well, I get
the
what you're
incident,
saying. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
just
I
saying,
get what you're
like,
saying.
it's not his fault.
Yeah, it's not his
It was
fault.
as a result of all these people coming around, and just when you have that much energy around, it's hard to contain.
But that's the same as like even the BML things, like the protests and stuff. A lot of them weren't
the BLM
meant
protest, yeah.
to destroy and loot
And
and
it happened.
riot. It just happened,
You're always going to have bad actors and people
Bad
who are
apples.
not there for the right reasons, right? And yeah, it's just tough, man. It's sad that they would blame this kid for like
Yeah.
things he clearly cannot control.
But he should have known better. Queen Naja did it a couple years ago before the pandemic. She just said that she was going to be at Times Square, and then everybody just like flocked there, and she shut down like the whole Times Square. She had to get somebody to pretty much carry her out. Her and Clarence.
I think
Her
that's
man.
like that's dope
But
for you though,
yeah.
for your brand.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, you're creating pandemonium, and you have physical evidence to show brands like, yo, if I say this, they do
like,
this.
This happens. And then there was people upstairs in like the corporate buildings. One person was like, "Oh my gosh, is that Nicki Minaj? I think it's Nicki Minaj," and it wasn't. It was Queen Naja. But even remember when TikTok was pretty new, and those kids, all the TikTok stars from Toronto that had a few 100,000 followers, maybe they all said that they were going to meet up at Eaton Center. And then beer kids showed up at Eaton Center, and it shut down Eaton Center. And I think it was like 5 creators. Or
When was
shit
this?
Like this, 2019, in like 2019 or 2018, one of those two.
TikTok
I think it was
out in
2018. 2019. It was 2019 in early winter.
Was that when it was? Was it still? Was it TikTok yet?
Yeah, it was TikTok.
When did it switch from Musical.ly?
It was in February.
No, but I'm asking when did TikTok switch from Musical.ly to TikTok?
Musical.ly is a different app.
No, it's the same app. TikTok was Musical.ly.
Oh.
The bite whatever. What's the whatever the Bite Dance or something like that? Whatever the head company is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it transitioned from Musical.ly to TikTok.
Yeah, it was around then because there was this girl who, I forget her name, it starts with a D, but she was a younger girl in high school and she wanted to like shadow or intern at Flow. So she was shadowing me, and I found out that she was on TikTok and she had like a few 100,000 followers. And then the thing happened, and I'm like, "That was you?" And she was like, "Yeah, it was me and a few other TikTokers. We just all
Casually.
planned to like meet up, and we told our TikTok followers that we're gonna meet up, and then all of a sudden there were so many people there, and then you see on TikTok later them getting like escorted out and all the things.
Yeah, me and Lath did that like when we were 20. Like
Yeah.
we just thought it was cool.
To
We
have
didn't think
everybody come
about
out.
violence or
Yeah,
someone getting fucked up
You
or
guys
someone
like,
getting trampled.
let's do a meetup here.
Literally everywhere we'd go, we'd be like, yo, we're going to be here. Like if it was like a day, like for example, Canada Day or like May 2-4 weekend or something like, if it was any of those type of days or weekends, we'd be like, yo, we're going to be at Woodbine Beach in an hour. Pull up.
That's also New York City though. That's on some side talk new NYC shit. Like that would happen at the end of a New York Knicks game.
You know what I mean?
Drake week, all that shit would happen already,
just
but
don't
it just
get it,
happens
yo.
to be the young kids wanting to get a fucking PS5.
And I think it's
I
also
think it
the
was
police
just knowing
want
they were
us-
getting shit.
Well, that, but I also think that, I mean, in terms of like the punishment. I feel like they just wanted to set an example with Kai for some reason.
They need to, in order to
Prevent that from happening.
set precedent.
Yeah.
They need to have something actually go through, so then that way they can do it
Yeah.
all around.
Yep. That happens a lot too, especially when you consider like, because even the police that arrested him, they didn't look like normal police. Like they look like hip hop police. Like they looked really
the
cool for
hip-hop
police.
police.
Like it was weird. It was really weird.
I thought he was just gonna get hit with like people driving while people are on the vehicle. Like smaller things, like the obvious things that you see. But but now inciting a riot and like, come on, that's a lot, man. That's a bit much.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Speaking about
But
crimes,
just to go to show his power.
So speaking about crimes, Tory Lanez got
Sentence?
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
They gave him 10 of those things. The Bobby Schmurd.
Well,
Yes,
how
sir,
long
they
was he in?
did.
How long was he in jail?
Did he
before
get
they
deported?
actually-
I don't know about that. I never read.
How
That
long has he been in
much.
jail for time served?
Yeah,
What
because
has it
he'll
been,
do
like,
he'll
2
do a
years or
third. He'll do
something
a
like that?
third.
2 years?
years?
No, he only went to jail after the trial ended. I mean, the
He
trial.
wasn't in jail before?
No, because remember he was driving to and from the trial every day, a new suit and shit. So
Oh.
he's only been there a couple months.
He
He'll probably do
okay,
a third.
let's see.
10
It says
years. How old is he?
He's been sentenced. Is Tory 30? He might be like 30 now.
He's 31. Wow, and they're gonna be 41 by the time he's out.
Let's see if it has anything about it.
Damn.
That didn't say anything. But it's
Oh, and it's his birthday. He got sentenced.
Today's
on
his birthday.
Damn.
Wow.
Sorry, last week was his birthday.
Oh,
Okay.
shit, still. He's got to be in there like, yo, Bana is right now. dog.
Yo, star.
that lady that goes to the courtrooms and
Yeah.
whatever, she said that Tory spoke for several minutes. He said he still cares about Megan. He called her someone I still care for dearly to this day, regardless of what she might think of him. He said the victim's my friend. He talked about bonding with her over the loss of their mothers. We both lost our mothers. We would sit there and drink until we got numb, Tory Lanez said of Megan Thee Stallion. About the shooting, I said some very immature things that I shouldn't have said. I revealed some secrets I shouldn't have revealed. That was in, I guess, his statement.
If he did that from jump, it would have been a lot less.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He probably wouldn't even been in jail.
He should have just not.
Because
fought
she
that
wasn't
shit.
snitching, you know what I mean?
It's like, why? And we said it, we're like, yo, every time something dropped, this guy is incredibly confident for someone that's in this position.
Yeah.
Like, incredibly confident. To the point where it had so many people being like, he couldn't have done this. Who in their right mind would do such a thing would follow up with this afterwards? It's like mind-boggling when you think of the campaign after the incident.
I feel like he thought his lawyers were invincible. Because the lawyers that he had were, they have a great track record. Like their winning record is
Probably. And like I think the alcohol playing a factor. I think he thought maybe all stories wouldn't line up or something. I don't know, but bruh. But like when there's especially two other witnesses, like it's not that they just came out of the woodworks. They were witnesses the night of. They were named witnesses the night of. So you knew people saw what happened. And you still quadrupled down. You showed up to a festival where she was performing. You made videos mocking her. You like, even if you did it, and you, like you said, if you just said, yo, yeah, I did that. Even the world would be less hard on him than he's been getting this whole time. Because now a lot of the vitriol is from all the campaign that happened afterwards.
Yeah, she said in the sentencing or in a written statement yesterday that, let me see if I could get, he still
hasn't acknowledged that he shot her.
I've not experienced a single day of peace. He's not only shot me, he made a mockery of my trauma. He tried to position himself as a victim and set out to destroy my character and my soul. He lied to anyone that would listen and paid bloggers to disseminate false information about the case on social media. He released music videos and songs to damage my character and continue his crusade. At first, he tried to deny the shooting ever happened. Then he attempted to place the blame on my former best friend. In his tantrum of lies, he blamed the system, blamed the press, and as of late, he's using his childhood trauma to shield himself and avoid, what's the word?
Culpability?
Yes, thanks. I'm like, what's this word? For once, the defendant must be forced to face the full consequences of his heinous actions and face justice.
No mercy from her. Like, and that's the other thing too. Like, had you apologized to her, came out and said there was an accident, you got too drunk, mental health issues, all these things, maybe her and the DA's office would have had more like leniency.
Sympathy
Even in the sentencing, I feel like a part of the sentencing is with all that in mind, the aggravation and the constant like making her seem like a liar. So yeah, man, he dug himself a deeper hole. Like this could have been 2 years in probation or some shit, honestly, because at the end of the day, it's like it was a shot in the the ankle. So it wasn't life-threatening,
right?
And it was shrapnel, so it wasn't like a direct hit to the ankle. So I feel like with all that other shit thrown out, and if he had just admitted it and said he was wrong, yeah, it's just.
And it's not even like a
man.
Shine situation or a Bobby Shmurda situation where like, or even Max B, like people that are waiting and like with open arms for them to come out. His might be a thing where people are like, will still be mad when he comes out.
Well, yeah. especially when Megan's career is like way bigger.
Yeah, when she's already
10 years from
solidified.
now, like she's gonna be way bigger.
Yeah, hip hop Hall of Fame status. you know?
And then like even just the position you got to start out at now in life, even if you want to pursue rap and all that stuff, where she is will always be in comparison to where you are.
He had 53 letters of support.
76.
76?
76 letters of support. One of them being Iggy Azalea.
Yeah.
Some of them being police officers and chiefs of other
I just saw one.
counties.
It said Missouri.
Yeah. And family members. His dad apologized to the judge for his outburst, which went viral. And his son wrote in. People were mad about his son writing in. I'm like,
it's his son, man.
People were like mad that his son was coming to the court. I'm like, guys, it's court.
Yeah.
People's families come to court all the time.
And of course they're gonna do that because it makes him look like, oh,
Yeah.
you have a baby.
If you're
I'm
fighting
the
for your
dad.
life,
like,
do you care what Twitter says?
yeah,
Like,
you're gonna bring your child.
at the end of the day, I'm using anything I can to get me out of this situation. I don't want to go to jail. Like, that's crazy.
I wonder if the police or lawyers ever use Twitter comments to help beef up their shit.
Well, they definitely use Instagram pictures and videos to beef up their evidence because like these niggas be taking pictures of their guns, the codeine, friggin' your name on the side of prescription. Like,
But imagine in their argument, they're like, at
yeah,
Black
they
Lives
do.
Matter,
They do.
Karen
They do.
Stated in one of her comments,
and they read it verbatim, bro.
verbatim,
They read
you
it
know?
verbatim. Those are the funniest moments in court, dog. When they had to read Young Thug's song, oh, that was cinema. That was cinema, man. Honestly. Those are the funniest moments. Speaking of court, Lizzo.
Lips, now them hoes tryna sue me. Bitch, I don't give two shits.
damn, that
It's
didn't
crazy.
age
They
well.
just keep finding more and more Lizzo comments and interviews and clips from her songs to like dig the hole deeper. So like, there's a moment on Big Boy's Neighborhood, or no, sorry, just a radio station in Amsterdam. She's getting interviewed, and she says, "I'm trying to go to one of them freak clubs where they eat bananas out the pussy," and I was like,
There it is.
And then they told her to the club, and she's like, "That's where it is." And you see the excitement in her face. I'm like, "Well, that's getting in the evidence pile." And then like you got now. So I watched the documentary. Did you guys see the documentary, Lizzo?
No.
Love Lizzo on HBO.
No.
So I scrolled past the documentary yesterday, and it's like the picture of her, and she's smiling, she's holding her face, it's purple, it's like Love Lizzo in handwriting. And I had just read one of the first camera people and directors for that documentary.
It's on the lawsuit, isn't it?
No.
walked
She just
out.
commented like a Jonathan Majors situation where it's like people are coming out from the past and being like, yo, she did that shit. So this person's like, I usually do not comment on anything pop culture related. But in 2019, I traveled a bit with Lizzo to be the director of her documentary. I walked away after about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I was treated with such disrespect by her. I witnessed how arrogant, self-centered, and unkind she is. I was not protected and was thrown into a shitty situation with little support. My spirit said to run as fast as you fucking can, and I'm so grateful I trusted my gut. I felt gaslit and was deeply hurt, but I've healed. Reading these reports made me realize how dangerous of a situation it was. This kind of abuse of power happens far too often. Much love and support to the dancers. So,
you know what sucks? It probably just is like wild experiences, like party experiences that just went a little too far, or something. They all experience wild party experiences, but then the relationship outside of that got strained, and now it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna come after you.
Well,
you know what I mean?
They're saying that the relationships got strained because of those party moments and party like events or whatever. Because it's that, and I heard people being like, "Oh, no one can make you touch someone's titty and blah blah." And I think that a lot of people don't get how power and coercion works. Like, it's not it's not someone telling you have to do this or you're gonna get fired. It's the feeling of you have to do this or you're gonna get fired. People can create a feeling in a room that can make you feel powerless. And if you notice, for example, Lizzo is giving more opportunities, bringing more of these dancers around the world. If they are going out with her at the after parties, they're drinking shot for shot with her every time. They're holding her hair while she's throwing up, or whatever the case may be. If she's putting so much stake into that and rewarding them for that, you now feel you need to do that in order to advance your career. Because you want to get on the next tour. You want to be at the next show. You want to get as much shows as you can. Especially as a dancer, it's not like you have a head company. Like, you're a freelancer. You're a freelance contractor. So,
and especially being like of the
big
stature.
girl. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not many opportunities for you. And this, ideally, from the outside looking in, is the best opportunity you might have. Yeah. So it's like, there's so many different factors as to why someone feels they need to reach out and touch a titty when Lizzo starts chanting. Like, after you said no 3 times.
Do it.
And Lizzo's chanting to do it with all the people that are getting the perks, and you're like,
fuck,
all right, like here, there, and like you got, yeah.
And then your conscience starts kicking in laterwards, and you're like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? I didn't want to do it.
Especially when you don't, when it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
Like, if you did all that and you still didn't get what you thought
you were.
It's like, I think that's where this comes in. But I'll also say that the rest of the incidents of someone being unkind, selfish, whatever,
you're dealing with celebrities.
I don't care.
Yeah.
No, I just don't care. Yeah. Because everybody in this room has somebody that can say that about them.
Yeah.
That's life.
It's also subjective.
Like, it's all subjective. And you don't know why I was selfish to you. Yeah. Nobody knows. You're just telling them I was selfish and unkind and arrogant. What if I had a reason? And I don't even maybe I didn't remember the reason because it's so long ago, but it was significant enough to you, so you remember.
It took
a hold it.
I hate that I always bring Marcel's name up, but like, there was a point where I thought that he was a dick. I'm like, man, this guy can be so mean sometimes. But then I eventually started to realize, no, he's just not even mean. He just has such a high level of execution that if it's not meeting his standards, it's like, why am I paying you when you know that I am I do this. I've done this my whole life, so you have to come to my level instead of me having to come down. So well, that's what happens. I understood the mastery, so it's just like if you want to work with somebody that's this good, you got to almost. I don't want to say expect outbursts, but the outbursts are
almost
warranted because he's like, guys, you don't know how much I care about this, and you aren't coming to my level.
Yeah.
So please, if I'm getting angry, it's only because this is my money, my resources, my
baby.
time. This
my
is
name,
me. My name.
Everything goes into it. Like
and it versus your feelings.
Yeah.
Like, guys, I pay you good money.
And I've worked my whole life. You
Yeah.
probably might be 5-10 years into this.
Yeah.
I've worked my whole life to be into this moment.
like Beyonce, everybody always like laughs and makes fun of if something goes wrong. They're like, Beyonce is gonna fire them. Somebody's gonna get fired. But it's like if they did get fired, I understand.
Yeah.
You know how much money her fans are paying to be there? And she wants to put on a good show. She's not Beyonce for no reason.
Yeah.
She's Beyonce because she shows up and shows out and makes sure that everything is as perfect as can be, you know?
I guarantee you there's about 15 to 20 people in this world that could say Beyonce is selfish, unkind, and arrogant.
Hell yeah.
Because of they fucked up.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they
Or
felt
just
like they
even a
needed some
situation
solace.
that they caught her like in a bad situation.
Bad
you know?
moments. People
like
have bad
shit when
days.
she was going through the shit with she was having a miscarriage. Jay-Z was cheating on her.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure she wasn't
The best moods, yeah.
happy go lucky every time.
Yeah.
You know, it was
People-
probably hard for her to get up and have to work.
And if people have
and
a
having
perception,
a child, like
if people have a perception of you too already,
Mm.
like you're Beyonce, you're so nice to everyone, you're this, that, and you're not nice to me.
yeah.
Oh, I need to tell people this
That
is not
you're
who you really
horrible.
are. Like you really are mean. Like
Mm-hmm.
people think you're like this. I need to tell them because that wasn't my experience. Like fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
The
Like,
worst.
I
thing-
don't care.
Even with like, 'cause she came in so young at like what, 16?
Who?
Even
Beyonce.
like
Beyonce's
younger
been
than that.
performing
Even younger
since
than
she was
you know?
a baby.
They could easily
essentially.
like media could be like, oh, this spoiled child superstar, always has what she wants.
Well, and
They
then
did.
They
They
did
did
the
do
other
that.
Shit like that.
The
They did
other
those.
the other Destiny Child members that got kicked out were always like, oh, everything's about Beyonce and Beyonce didn't pack my bag.
They
like,
they badmouthed
you know?
the fuck out of Beyonce. Come to find out, these girls are sleeping in the studio while Beyonce's writing all the songs. They're not showing up to the studio on time. They're missing performances.
Yeah.
And
Sleeping with the people that were on tour.
And Beyonce is the one where I can't remember what producer it was when she was a kid. Must have been, I think it was Babyface. Must have told them that they had to do something again that they had like been doing for hours, and they thought they nailed it. And he had to come and tell them, nah, we gotta go at it a couple more times. And Beyonce shot right up and was ready to go, was excited to go. And the rest of them was like, you gotta drag them in from outside playing
Because
and all
she's
that stuff.
different. Like her work
Built
ethic
different.
is different.
From a child.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
And you meet certain people who can just outwork you.
Yeah.
And it's like, if
Then-
you can't keep up, then why are you even trying?
And why are you here?
Why
Why are you
are you
wasting my
here?
time and effort and
Yeah.
resources? Like
Yeah.
when I could have picked this person
I
or
feel
that
that way
person.
sometimes.
Enough.
Like
enough.
when people try to like work with me or whatever. Not really now. Like I don't really do things on my own.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, I'm like, yo, why? If you can't keep up, then I might as well do it myself.
Exactly.
Because you asking way more questions or needing my assistance to do something that I wanted you to assist me with, it's like I might as well just.
I
do this
didn't
shit
hire you to
myself, yo.
micromanage you. I hired you so that I didn't have to tell you what to do at all.
Yeah.
It just gets done. Like
Yeah.
it's just that simple. So yeah, man, I don't know what people expect. It's just this constant like character assassination that people go on. It's so
But also,
annoying,
like Kayla
bro.
was saying, or will say, that they're just people.
Human beings at the end
They're
of the
just
day.
human beings, you know?
Yeah, man. Did you hear about your girl Liz Cambridge?
What happened?
You hear about the interview she did with Taylor Rook? Where she's asking her about the Nigerian team and if she was like mean to the black women on the Nigerian team. And she's like, no, I'm actually like transferring over from the Australian team to the Nigerian team right now. And the Nigerian team was on Twitter like,
No, you're not.
no. We have the truth. So more to be revealed.
You know what? Liz seems to be a problem.
She does in like more ways than one.
Problem. Like, she's very conceited. She's definitely on like her high horse.
Drake's fault.
Yeah, probably.
I really blame Drake.
Yeah.
Liz Cambridge is the WNBA player that Drake co-signed super early on, and she's got attractive. She got the OnlyFans. One of the first WNBA players with an OnlyFans. Yeah.
But to be honest, before he even said anything, she had a solid career.
She was going viral like already.
Yeah. She had already been doing great things. She left the WNBA and didn't play for a while. She came back to the WNBA. She was very vocal about not playing during COVID, and
she's
making
very
sure
vocal about the pay as well.
Yeah, but just something
NIL
after
deals
that, it
are
was
gonna
just
be-
like. After the Drake thing, it just switched up, and I'm just like, I don't really fuck with you as much as I like used to, you know.
She looks like
and
Captain Heigl.
she was having problems with every team. Had a problem with the Aces. Went to the Sparks. Was on the Sparks for not even a full season. Had a problem. Said, "Fuck this. I'm not playing with in the WNBA more." It's like, all right, sis.
Speaking of OnlyFans,
I was gonna say the same thing.
Pinky Doll.
Oh no, I didn't know about that. Yeah, but I thought people knew she had an OnlyFans.
Yeah, she already had
But
an OnlyFans.
but they leaked, I guess.
Oh, her
Been
stuff?
leaked. She probably she didn't just find out. Like this is why she's sick. This is why she's a genius, yo. The girl goes on Instagram and TikTok and makes this fake crying video that her OnlyFans is being exposed.
So then it goes viral.
So then that goes viral, and now people are buying up her OnlyFans. It's like, she's a genius, bro. My brother messaged me the same thing. I'm like, dog, she had to have been known. Like, if you even look at some of the posts, they're like 4 years old. Like, it's not even like it's new porn.
Yeah.
Like, she been doing this. So it's like, yeah, no. But I heard this.
I was going to say that I don't know if she's ever said it, but I'm pretty sure she's releasing music.
Oh yeah, no, she said she's
okay.
she's gonna release music. Yeah, she wants to be Cardi B. Like
What?
that's her goal.
And she got a Fashion Nova collab?
And a song with them.
Song with Fashion Nova. Let's see if she
Of course, Matt
manifests
knows.
everything.
You are a sick nigga,
Fashion
man.
Nova.
Did you subscribe to that OnlyFans 4 years ago, bro? Oh, okay.
Did you
But you
beat
did
one off to the
now.
Reddit?
You did now.
See
You had
that
to think
smile,
about it. You had to
boy?
think about that.
Nigga jerking off
Wow,
with honey.
dirty.
What a sicko.
Yo, Matt, send me the link later.
Dirty.
Wow. She's just taking dick. Popcorn. Yes, popcorn. Yes, popcorn. That would be a crazy moan game. NPC moan.
Oh, shit.
What about this moan? Hold on.
Let me see. What is this?
Nigga said she sound like SpongeBob when he's looking for Squidward. Yo, dog.
What in the nerd glasses moan was that?
I don't know. It was possessed, but oh no, Daddy,
That's all, folks. That was a Krusty the Clown laugh.
That's crazy, bro.
That's all, folks, was Bugs Bunny.
What?
That's all, folks.
Yeah.
That's not Bugs Bunny. That's Porky the
that's
Pig.
Porky the
Or
Pig.
Porky the Pig, but it's from that. Looney Tunes is from Looney Tunes.
That's all,
Yeah.
folks.
It wasn't Krusty the Clown. That's
No,
what I meant.
Krusty the Clown was the laugh.
Hey. I love that laugh. That laugh was iconic, yo. Man, what else happened this week? I think that's about it, man. I don't know. I think we're done.
Just a lot of parties, a lot of good
A lot
times.
of parties, a lot of Bana.
We were too busy living life to be looking at.
Like Summer Walker. You see her
God.
night out?
No.
Did you guys see her Summer Walker's night out?
No.
Shit
Of course
was
you did.
wild. Shit was. She was doing headstands. in the booth. Heads. Look at this picture.
Wild.
Yeah, she was just having
Surrounded by
fun.
people just going crazy. All I saw was pain.
Where?
Yeah, I saw a video before of her and her friends like in their
Her,
room
Suki,
and
Sexy. What's her name? Sexy
I don't
Red?
know. I don't think it was them.
Oh.
This was a while ago.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah,
talking
I
about
think it
this
was
night.
just like her friends, and she was just like going off, and I just felt like dirty watching it. You know, like I just felt dirty. Like
it's so funny. She
ew.
has like the early Kalani allegations on her now that she doesn't bathe or some shit. Like it's so wild. She I saw this and I was just like, man, this is just pain. This is pain and heartache. Like you post that Meech stuff, and then the next night, this is what you're doing. This is pain.
That's what you gotta do sometimes.
Shit, I've been
Pain out,
shit.
yo.
You gotta tell me. I've had some painful nights myself.
I'm out.
Oh man, what's the wildest thing you've ever done off the breakup? You ever like call a nigga up like, yo, I'm fuck out me what?
To another guy?
Duh. I mean, when
No.
who would you say that to?
I thought you meant the same guy. I thought you meant the same guy. I'm
No.
like, wait, what?
No.
No.
You
I
ever
don't
spun the
think I
block on like an
have.
oldie?
Yeah, I have.
How old? Like 3-year gap? What's the gap?
Definitely a couple of years. It might have been 3 years.
And was
so
that because it was good years ago, or because you're just curious?
It was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always wonder if women do curious fucks.
What, to see if they still got it or something?
That or just to see like, or like you've heard
Yeah.
like this guy does this or whatever.
But that's not spinning the block.
No, but I'm saying I always wonder if girls
Oh.
do curious fucks.
Oh, yeah,
because
they for sure
guys,
do.
I mean, fucking
for sure
period
do.
is curious fucks for us.
They're like, oh, let me see what you're working with. I heard this is good.
Recommendations.
And then they just be fucking. Just trying it out so they could talk about it.
That's interesting. Wow. So with the person that did it before?
I'm talking, they do it with new people.
No, I'm saying
could talk
to
with
talk about it with the
some people.
Compare
I know
notes?
girls who will like.
Do
if
women compare notes like to see how they were treated compared to another woman?
I don't know. They could. I
Because like,
guess.
yo, if you fucked a man, if you fucked a man,
for sure. Afterwards, for sure. Like, say you didn't. Like, I've been in situations where a girl I either knew or ended up knowing, and we've been with the same guy. Like,
Eskimo
we
sisters.
could, whatever. Like,
It's
we
in-
could go
it's-
and
you can't
talk
say
shit
Eskimos anymore.
about
no?
them.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you can't
it's
say that.
indigenous sisters. No, you can't say that. I don't
why is Eskimos?
know. Eskimo's a word. That's why there's no more Edmonton Eskimos. It's Edmonton Elks now.
Why is Eskimos a bad word?
Well,
It's just one of
that's
those,
the term that they
It's
don't.
nigger for indigenous?
Yeah, it's just like
That's crazy.
yeah, it's like
My bad. That's crazy. I said nigger sisters. That's crazy. My bad.
Yeah. You
That's-
can't even say, what was it? Indian giving?
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, that's an obvious one.
Yeah.
Eskimos is a little bit more like nuanced
No,
though.
and they said that they laugh at us when we say like Eskimo kiss because they're like, that's not even how we kiss.
Yeah, they
Like,
don't. Yeah.
You don't like rub nose.
Isn't
and
it like the
whatever.
eyelash or something like that?
I don't know. Something
I don't know.
like really random.
Yeah.
You know?
Or is that butterfly kiss? I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, back to the curious fuck.
I feel like girls would do that. Like if they especially don't want to have any type of emotional connection.
But what's clout in the curious fuck? Like if two girls fuck the same guy and one slept over and got breakfast.
yeah.
Do you
that's
feel
how I
like
was gonna
do you
say-
feel less of your pussy? Like do you feel like what?
I
Like,
know some
Why
girls
didn't
that
I
got.
get that?
Would you feel? Would you
I've
feel
seen
that
some
way?
girls that had some beef over that. Like they were just talking about like, yeah, we both fucked the same guy, and they were really good friends.
Yeah.
But then one because they were going back and forth explaining, sharing their stories, and one mentioned like, oh, he ate me out,
And the other
she's
was
like,
he doesn't eat pussy.
he doesn't eat pussy. Yeah, he was like, no, he doesn't. You're lying. And she's like, no, he ate my box like there was KFC in it. Like, I was like, and they got into a beef over that. She's like, so what are you saying? I'm not worthy of like. That wasn't what I'm saying.
No, but when she put a little extra vim on it, that's
yeah,
kind of what you're saying. So,
like,
no, he ate me up like KFC. Like,
he ate my box.
Shorty starts just licking her fingers and shit. Yeah, no, that's putting a little too much vim on it still.
But the funny thing is, after they got into their little fight, she came to me. She was like, "Yeah, he didn't eat her because he said she stunk."
That's why the girl's thinking though. That's why she's really mad.
It hit a chord.
Yeah.
You know, it struck a chord. So.
Because I think she said that like, "Yo, did he tell you my pussy stinks?" Like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy. And there's no rhyme or reason why that happens sometimes either.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason I would have one girl sleep over the other one unless it's like sometimes convenience. Like maybe she lives dumb far and she had to sleep over. Or there's a snowstorm or some shit. Like you never know the reason, but women aren't gonna tell them that.
Super late, you know.
But
what
women
I mean?
aren't gonna
Like,
tell you guys that. They're just gonna be like, no, he let me sleep over, he put me in my t-shirt and he had an extra toothbrush. He had tampons. Oh my God, he had tampons.
No, but that is apparently like a red flag.
Yeah, of course it's a red flag.
Yeah.
While being convenient for you guys.
Yeah.
Women are crazy.
Did you see
bro.
the guy?
Women are so crazy, bro. You
there's
get
a
prepared
guy-
for them, and in preparation, it's a red flag. You have a condom in your pocket, red flag.
Yeah.
There's a guy on TikTok who went kind of viral for his like organization skills, but one of his videos was that he had tampons and like pads. He had hair ties. He had silk pillowcases.
Learned that from Cat Williams.
Everybody was like, "Oh, this is a red flag." Da, 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 da. And he was like, "Why?" He was like, if I have a lady come over here, I just want her to feel comfortable. And if she needs anything, all the things are already here.
Yeah.
You don't have to go and
Women
get
just
it.
shooting themselves in the foot, as always, being homophobic. being homophobic, and not even just homophobic, but horophobic. Like you guys, there's certain things whores will do that's for your convenience, and you guys still like, just because he's a whore now, it's like, no, I don't want it. But you do. Like you do want the silk pillowcase.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
do want tampons readily available just in case some shit happens. Like,
Yeah.
I watched a TikTok the other day of a girl who fell asleep at the guy's house after they had sex. She fell asleep naked in the bed. Period came, and it was the big one, like the big
The
one.
gushers.
The fucking crime scene, bro. Went to his washroom, nigga had no toilet paper. Went to his kitchen, no paper towel.
That's
No napkin.
dirty.
Nothing in sight. Nigga was shitting, showering for his whole life or some shit. I don't know what he was doing, but
The shower bidet.
the shower shit is crazy. But she left. She got her stuff as quick as humanly possible
Yeah.
and left. The nigga woke up to
Blood.
blood all over his bed, a missing girl, and hair extensions on the floor. And then she's like, because the whole reason she was telling the story, she's like, guys, I just got a text. The text said, hey. Let me tell you why this is weird. Tells the whole story. She's like, this was 3 years ago. Why is he texting me, hey?
He wants to spin the block.
That nigga want to spin the block regardless. Craziness,
He wanted to be
dog.
one of those, hey, man, I overlooked it. It was all good.
Right?
I'm not judging for that.
He's smart. He held that get out of jail free card and said, I'm gonna tuck that pum pum card,
Yo,
that
remember
pum
that
pum
time?
token. Remember that time you bled on my blood? Yo,
I'm cool
I
with
need
it,
new
so
sheets.
come on around.
I need new sheets. Ah, that's how you get them.
Or I just moved to a new house. I would love if you gave me new sheets for housewarming. And then you could break it in.
I mean, that's a given line right there. Those ones work all the time.
Do you know men that have had beefs over, like that friends that, you know, had the same thing and they had a little beef over?
Not beef, but I know guys who get like super disgusted or weirded out because their friends had sex with a girl they had sex with.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It happens.
like, who cares? Like, what are you insecure about? What are you scared of?
You know what's funny? When I was on road in Carabana, this dude who used to date one of my ex-girlfriends and whatever. He was saying what up to one of my other buddies that I was rolling with, and I couldn't tell it was him. You know, he's just jumping up and down, all sweaty, no t-shirt. I'm like, and when he was like, "Yo, what's good, bro?" And I'm like, "Oh, what?" He's like, "Love the podcast." Da, da, da. You know, he's being real nice. I was like, "Yeah," and I wasn't trying to brush him off, but it was also like, "Yo, you're so sweaty, bro. Like, yo, good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we weren't boys or anything, but it was just like, yeah, we fucked the same girl. yeah. He messages me. He's like, yo, I hope it wasn't weird, you know, because I know I fucked your ex. And then I'm like, I don't care. But he's just like, was it weird that I'm like, buddy, I don't. It was weird that you were fucking sweating trying to hug me. And
it's
like,
weird that you're bringing this up.
Yeah, and it's even weirder that you're bringing it up. And, you know.
Like, I'm the king of not making shit awkward. That's weird to me, man.
Yo, I just had a situation. Somebody like DM'd me and they were like asking simple questions like, how old are you? And they were like, oh, like, do you have a man? Is this really awkward? Am I disrespecting you? Is this and this? I'm like, yo, all you asked was like how old I am.
And now you're making it
And
feel
now
like
it's
disrespectful.
Like now it feels awkward.
Self-awareness.
Like all you needed to do was just ask the question. You just
Jesus
DM me like, what's
Christ,
up?
bro.
I think you're dope. Like, you know, that's it. How old are you? 33. I'm not scared. You could even go through the pictures to see that I'm 33.
Niggas got no
It's
riz.
not that big of a deal.
No riz, man. None whatsoever. In this day and age, bro, you can go through a girl's fucking Twitter likes and learn everything about her. You niggas make no sense. Like, it's just like,
It's just weird.
the
like,
answers are being thrown into the air for
Yeah.
you at all times, and
Yeah.
you will still say the wrong thing because you're too in your head, because you're making the moment too large. Like, it's not that big of a deal, bro.
for real.
I'm so happy I've never been pressed for pussy. I think that's a disease, man.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you work yourself out of it either. Like, I don't think there is a way. Like, once you're pressed, that's your life. That's you. You're gonna be pressed always. There's no unpressing. I've never met a nigga that was pressed for pussy, unpressed himself.
I'm trying to
They've
think.
always been that nigga. The same niggas that at 19 would hit me up, yo, let's go to the mall, get some shorties,
Yeah.
are out here doing the same thing today.
True.
And get super emotional when they don't get pussy.
True.
Because that's just the main goal.
That's when they get angry.
Like,
Call women out their names.
you know what changed my life?
Yeah.
Very young, I told a girl that she was beautiful in passing. And I didn't look back. Did nothing. Didn't pursue it. Didn't nothing. And like an hour later, she came and brought me a drink. And I was like,
Ooh.
something there. I was like, there's something there. And I still didn't really figure it out. And I did it again, and I realized, I'm like, okay, if you give a compliment with no strings attached, it's better received. You know what I mean? Like, there's no, especially as a man in a party, in a club, women are already on the defense.
Yeah.
So if you give a compliment and just keep it pushing, the fences just drop automatically, because now they're like, oh, he's not a creep, right? He's not gonna be annoying. And I think those are like the two main factors of why women will talk to a guy and be willing to talk to a guy, is because, oh, he's not gonna creep me out, he's not gonna be annoying. We can start from there. And then that's where, so after that, I did that.
Annoying
That was
guys
just my whole thing.
Annoying guys are like the worst, because I feel like creepy guys are just creepy guys. They're born to be creepy. You
And
know?
they can be annoying.
They can
But
be
you
both.
can be annoying and not creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's so
Worse.
Yeah, it's worse.
It's worse.
Especially when you like, because you don't know, and you can start engaging in a conversation, and then all of a sudden it's like, why the fuck did I do this?
And then this is why it's worse. Creepy annoying is like, fuck off. Like, I can straight up outwardly say that.
Yeah.
Just annoying, but with good intentions is like, I gotta sit through this.
Yeah.
Like, I can't be mean to this person. They don't mean, like, they don't even know what they're doing.
They probably don't realize
They
what
don't
they're
even
doing.
realize they're being annoying. So I can't, like, be a dick. But a creepy annoying person, like, yo, get away from me. Like, you can outwardly just say that.
Yeah.
You know what's funny though? When you said that, like, you're just annoying and I can't say nothing. What if that's what that guy that got it that
Thinks that he
that
can do?
date that didn't show up? What if he was that guy?
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying he wasn't.
No,
like,
but-
especially when you talk about men like him who they do want to know every detail because they don't want to mess up so badly. That can be very annoying and very, what's the word?
It's well intentioned, but it's also just it's not it.
What's the word? Not clingy. Ominous? Like, yeah, it's like a cloud like over the girl. Like,
Overbearing?
It's just overbearing. It's just a lot. And especially so soon. That's the other thing too. I find a lot of men don't have
timing.
self-awareness of when to, because some guys will go in to your DM and be like, yo, go to bed.
Yeah, that's
Thinking
annoying.
it's cute. And it's like, I don't know you. We haven't built this rapport yet.
Why are you up?
You have to build your way up to be able to tell me to go to bed. And we do a little playful banter. Like, some men just offer up, yo, go to bed. What are you doing up, shorty? Like, and think they're cute. They think they're being cute.
Grown.
It's crazy, bro. The lack of risen self-awareness it's prevalent. Yeah. It's prevalent. Are guys getting better?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I forgot your relationship. Like, are guys getting better? But over the years, did you notice any guys getting better, or was it just pretty much hit or miss regardless?
Very miss.
Very miss.
Maybe
See, and this is why men who find out how to give women orgasms, it's so hard for them to have one woman. Because you're a rare breed.
It's a myth.
You're a unicorn.
Everywhere. Yeah.
You're a unicorn. And every girl wants the unicorn. Yeah. So it's like, you got to work your way out of that. I'm a retired whore. Times have changed.
You're a clown.
Oh, man. Thank you, guys. Another week.
Yeah.
Another classic. Big up to Kayla Greaves. Make sure you guys check out this interview with Kayla Greaves, former InStyle editor, one of the 100 black women to look out for in Canada, nominated by CBC. She is a beauty expert, a journalist, a consultant, and she's a homie, man. We've known her for quite some time, so it was great catching up with her, and check out that interview. Yes, cool. Areas, it'll just be pylons.
Yeah.
Like sectioned off 2 lanes and nothing happening.
And a bunch of nails on the road to make you get a flat tire. It's great.
Well, I mean, you're a tourist now. You can't really talk about my city like that still. Whoa, I'm not going to lie to you. You can't really talk about my city like that still. You know what I mean?
Scarborough and Creeper.
Can't talk about my city like that. You're what do they call it? Export? You in New York now.
But I'm not technically a New Yorker yet. It's been 6 years since, in April it'll be 6 years.
You're a New Yorker now.
No, it's 10 years. They say you have to be there 10 years. For you
A New Yorker told you that.
Yeah. So
have you been robbed yet?
No.
Well, yeah, you're not a New Yorker. You ain't
I
there
don't
yet.
want to get robbed though.
Good.
So,
No. We avoid that. We avoid that. We avoid the bookings. But how is it in New York?
Honestly,
what's the difference?
A lot more opportunity. It's just a bigger city, a bigger place. I think Toronto is it's very small, and there's maybe 1 degree of separation between everybody. I feel like New York is just a lot more vast and big, and everything is there, So I kind of reached a point, honestly, quite early in my career where I kind of realized I can't stay here if I want to grow the way I want to grow. So I had to leave.
What point was that?
Ooh.
Were you down bad or up good?
I was up good, but I felt like, what more can I do here, right? Like I was at, like when HuffPost was here and that was like the big place to work, I was already there and I already did it.
And already won awards and stuff.
Right. I already won awards and I was speaking on panels and I was doing all these things. And I was only like in my like early to mid 20s at that point.
Yeah. And
I was like, okay, well, what more can I really do here?
Yeah.
You know? And
Especially
I feel like the media industry's kind of like shrunk. Since
10 times. Yeah, like,
and the price of everything has gone up.
Oh, isn't that what like inflation is across the board for everyone right now? Like they're talking about what the Great Depression was and what people were making then, and it was around $4,000 a year, right? Which equates to $88,000 a year.
Damn.
So that means if you're making less than $88,000, you are in the same position as people in the 1930s.
Yeah. It's bad.
That's nuts.
And I even have heard like it's cheaper to purchase real estate in New York than it is in Toronto now.
Wouldn't doubt it.
Toronto is
the housing
insane.
bubble here it's otherworldly.
You can't even buy food in Parkdale for less than $20.
The thing I will say is though, you can get like a 1-bedroom here and a 1-bedroom in New York are two different things. For certain places, like
yeah, it depends where you are.
Depends on where you are, because I've seen. Well, it might be just the ones that go viral, but I've seen these apartments that are like, oh, this is a studio apartment, and there's one where the sink you had to use the washroom sink.
Yeah, I mean that definitely does exist, but I would say that's not really the norm. That's kind of like the one-offs that go viral, at least in my experience. Like in New York, if you get what they call like a pre-war apartment, you can get a lot of space, but those are hard to come by.
Okay. People don't want to let them go.
They're old. They don't want to let them go. They're older buildings, so they may need to be like renovated. Da, 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 da. There's always something.
Yeah,
there's always something.
Yeah, my friends were telling me. A couple of my friends in New York were telling me like the process of getting a house is worse than here in terms of like sometimes you have to provide like 6 months worth of bank statements and
probably
checks and
guarantors.
You have to have like a certain amount of guarantors. Your last landlord got a check for you. Like there's a whole lot of rigmarole to go through.
Yep.
Did you have to face any of that going there, or was it pretty smooth for you?
I would say, I mean, I had a guarantor for my first apartment because I didn't. I mean, when you move to the States, it's one thing people don't tell you. You have no credit. You like don't exist in the system. You don't have a social security number.
You can't transfer it over.
You cannot transfer over your credit. I mean, I think maybe now with certain banks you could do it, but when I was going, you could not do that. So I was starting from zero. So I had a Visa debit card that I used for 6 months, and then they gave me like the lowest grade credit card, and then you just build your credit from there.
Wow, starting from scratch.
You literally start from scratch.
As a new human. That's insane.
So people don't understand how hard it is to like exist in the United States. And I came on a talent visa. So for me, like I have like a visa of privilege, you could call it, and it was still hard. So I can't even imagine people that like come to the country as like refugees or anything like that. Like it is impossible.
Yeah. Well, we're having that same problem here. We have refugees just sitting out on the street.
I heard about that.
On Richmond Street. It makes no sense. Like churches have to step in to give them housing.
And there's an abundance of condos. They don't stop building the condos.
Yeah.
But people can't afford to live there, so why are we building them?
Not to mention, the more condos we built, you pack all these people into one square area. The traffic just gets ridiculous.
Oh my God.
It's insane down here now. Like, and all these people in condos for some reason still want cars. Like, pick one. I feel like you gotta pick one down here. Honestly, if you're gonna have a condo, like, park it. We need probably like some storage garages.
Yeah,
for
but
cars
they're
outside
like,
the
they're
city.
getting rid of parking lots to build more condos. And these condos are like this big.
Oh yeah. And they all look the same.
They all look the same. They're all like sterile looking. That's what I wrote about my Instagram caption. I'm like, these condos don't even look good. Like, what happens to architecture?
No personality
no
whatsoever.
Character, nothing. Just
None.
like sterile, minimalist.
Yeah, they look like hospital rooms.
Literally.
Yeah, it's
hospital
bad.
Rooms.
It's very
bad.
Even the lighting. That fluorescent lighting in the condo. Ugh,
yeah, it's
yuck.
too much.
Reminds me of school. I hate it. I hate it. Where did you go to school?
I went to school in Oakville.
Oakville.
Yeah.
You're a Trafalgar Road, you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Almost a Hamilton, you, but I'll give you a little block.
I didn't go
it's
that
close.
far.
It's close. Oakville, what was that like? I know you were like one of 3 black kids at school.
Oh, man, 1 of 1.
1 of 1.
Maybe 1.5 if there was like a mixed kid or something. But like I was 1 of 1. It wasn't great. I didn't enjoy. I mean, here's the thing. I had a really happy childhood because I came from a really good home.
Yeah.
And you know how our parents are, like they want us to be back in Jamaica. They want us to still have our culture and still be in touch with it. So I never had that kind of issue. Like my family life was fantastic.
Okay.
School life,
different story.
Wow. It's like, you know, when you're home, it's like you're in Jamaica, right? Because your parents don't change. They are who they are. When you're at school, it's like, it's almost like you're living two lives. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And you don't fit in because like, I'm not a white kid. I don't have straight hair. I don't have blue eyes. You know,
did you ever get the contacts or the
hell no?
Any of those assimilating?
None of that. I mean,
tropes?
I had a relaxer back in the day, but I mean, everybody had a relaxer back in the day. But I never did. I never wanted to look like a white girl.
Yeah.
I never had it. I mean, I'm never going to look white, right?
Yeah.
I never had any desire to look that, but I didn't feel good in my own skin because I didn't see myself represented.
Yeah.
And people made me feel like everything about me, naturally was bad and wrong and ugly and this and that because I wasn't white.
Yeah.
Like you're weird because you're Jamaican. You're weird because like you're black. You're weird because your hair is puffy. You're weird because you have brown eyes. Like I can't see your like just any and everything they could say about me.
Yeah.
About who I was and what I look like was wrong and bad because I wasn't white.
Wow. And I feel like that's low key coming from a place of feeling threatened.
Probably, and also bad parenting because how does a child know that? At like a very young age, like what are your parents teaching you?
It's all taught. Hate is I cannot see any way that hate could be just in you.
It's taught.
Yeah, it's got to be taught. Like there's certain things you just pick up on, especially as when you're a little kid that you don't even realize you're picking up on. Like, it's just a part of your life. You think this is normal.
Exactly.
And then when you run into somebody like at Alabama, and you fuck around and find out.
Yo, that fight.
Just a masterpiece. But how much of that childhood now helped and influenced what you're doing now?
Oh, 100%. Everything happens for a reason. Like I think that if I didn't have those experiences, I would not be who I am today. 100%. Yeah. I wouldn't be so intentional about like creating stories or content or whatever that centers Black beauty in the way that it does. And making sure that like certain types of Black women are represented in the stories that I'm telling. Yeah. And I think that that's important. So like, I think, you know, like you go through hard things in life, but it really does prepare you for like whatever phase you're meant to go through next. Yeah. It gives you the tough skin. It gives you the awareness, and it makes you, you know how to handle certain situations. Like I can spot racism like that.
Oh yeah.
I like my radars just go off. I was like, oh, don't be racist. You know,
even things I didn't used to know was racist. Like now I'm like, oh, that
absolutely
that comment. Okay, got it.
I remember one time I was on set for a shoot and I went downstairs because they forgot dressing for the salad or whatever. And one of the people on set, the hairstylist, she couldn't have dairy, so I went to go get whatever dressing. And so I was pouring the dressings out and I was gonna put them in a box. And this lady comes to me, she's like, "You need to pay for those." Mind you, I wasn't even at the cashier yet. And I just said to her, I was like, "Why wouldn't I pay for them?" And she was like, "Oh, well," and I was like, "Careful, don't be racist." And the way she just scurried off.
Oh my God, bro.
She had nothing more to say. She just looks like she saw a ghost.
Wow. It's like
salad dressing,
chest,
bro.
Too. That's why I don't like. It's the chest. How your chest so high? Like the audacity, the entitlement. Like that's one thing you got to give him. Like, and at the time too, this is the scariest part. Is in her mind, that woman, she's not thinking of it as race.
Yeah.
She's just thinking of it as this is how I need to talk to this type of person.
Exactly. It's like so ingrained in some people.
Oh, it's
they
like
just
programmed.
See you.
Yeah.
It's ingrained. And they're like, they just see you and she's like,
I need to teach her a lesson.
I need to teach her that she needs to pay for salad dressing.
This is why I don't subscribe to y'all fork holding. Yo, we had a whole big discussion about how to hold the fork. And I'm like, who taught you how to hold the fork? And like the whole etiquette classes.
Yeah.
And why were those put in place? I'm like, honestly, they're just trying to degrade other people. I can't see a reason why you need etiquette classes in like the 1400s.
You just need to eat.
Just eat.
Just eat your food.
Like,
just eat your food.
There's cultures that don't even use forks. So now
they
what?
They use their hands.
So now what? They're barbarians?
Yes.
Like,
apparently, that's how it is. Yeah.
It's so insane, man. So insane. Now, you've obviously transitioned into beauty, taking a lot of steps to get there. How do you build up enough trust with brands and consumers to get to a place like InStyle?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it just kind of happened. Like, I think, so when I first got to New York, I started from square one. I was freelancing, and then I started writing for bustle.com, which is like a site.
Yeah.
And I just created good work. Like, I was a writer for them for, I think, was it 6, maybe 3 months, and then a position opened up to be a features editor. I went for it. I got it. And my job was basically to create like content packages of like just great stuff in like the beauty and fashion world. And I created this one thing called Good Hair because, you know, like it was all about 4C hair, like the thickest, like curliest hair curl pattern. Yeah. And I called it Good Hair because that's always referred to in the black community as bad hair. Yeah. And it was like a whole thing, da-da-da-da-da. And then I guess the editors there got wind of that. They saw it. They were looking for a senior beauty editor to come in, and they reached out to me. It worked out. It was actually crazy how it happened because I was in the middle of getting my green card. I couldn't leave the country. Oh, wow. And in order to take that job, I needed to get my like work permit, which is what they send to you before you get your green card. And it literally came just in time.
Like, what are we talking, a week?
Like literally within a week
of
me having to accept the job.
Wow.
That's
so
God. It just worked out. It was God. And so that's what I'm saying. Like things just kind of happen. Like there's no real
rhyme or reason.
Yeah, rhyme or reason or particular course you can go on. I think you just need to know what's meant for you. Yeah. And just stay the course and don't give up. I think the only time you really fail is when you give up.
Definitely. Consistent. I tell people all the time, consistency. Like, even if you don't know what's gonna happen in like the short term, you stay consistent, it'll reveal itself.
Exactly.
Like you don't really need to do all that heavy lifting.
You don't need to. Just let life happen.
Yeah, man. I rate that you've been doing this like before 2020.
Yeah.
Like this is not, you know, you've seen a lot of people.
And they all went back to factory settings.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. As soon as we got back outside.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And do you notice that with brands as well?
Yeah, 100%.
They just went back to regular schedule programming.
Absolutely. There's everybody, brands, publications, people, everything. And to me, it wasn't surprising at all. And I actually said to friends, I was like, yo, everybody is going to stop doing this when there's not like...
When you're not bored anymore.
Yeah, when you're not bored, or there's not a financial consequence to it, right? Everybody in 2020 knows... First of all, everything revolves around money. Everything is about money. Yeah. Like what the Bible said about money is facts.
Yeah, money and convenience. I'm finding convenience is getting up there in the evils, which we're not realizing it because it's stripping away more and more humanity.
Exactly.
With the less work.
Let's get into that.
Because you gotta work. Like I was telling someone the other day when we were talking about like the AI art, for example. I'm like, people are always gonna value human art over the AI art because they value work and they value hard work and like how long it took you to learn that specific style, and that style is yours and your own, and you made that over a robot who did it in 2 seconds.
Right.
Like the reward in our brain is doesn't work out the same.
Right. But you know what's crazy about it is that we live in a society that forces us to spend so much time working, and people are so desperate to just have less time of that and more time to enjoy their life that they will lean into AI because it makes it easier. Instead of just saying, yo, why can't I just have a life that's just less about work?
Backwards thinking, yeah.
But now we're like forced to do the same because it's the way that society is.
It's like telling women to change their clothes instead of telling men to change their mentality.
Exactly, right? And it's like everything is so expensive. We were talking about this before. Everything is so expensive. You're forced to work all the time because you have to make money, or else what's the alternative? You end up on the street. And Canada's cold.
Yeah, listen, you don't want to end up on the street here. And I'm honestly, I've seen an influx of homeless people this year.
Of course.
This summer, it's been kind of like it used to be concentrated areas downtown. Yeah. Now it's just everywhere.
It's everywhere. And it's going to continue to get worse, unfortunately, because apparently Justin Trudeau is saying, well, I'm not responsible for housing. It's not a federal problem.
It's not responsible for his wife either. You know what I mean? Hey.
I'm going to mind my business with that one. It's not my wife, not my marriage.
It's not his wife either, and not his marriage. Let's go! We out here. Your visa's safe. Don't worry. She's like, green card.
I mean, I'm a Canadian citizen. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about the Canadian stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just crazy the way the world is going. And I think also like it does take away the humanity of it. Like humans are meant to be in community with each other.
Yep.
We need to interact with each other. We need to have like emotional experiences with each other. And we're just becoming so much more like divided, and we're behind screens, and we're not like interacting in the ways that we used to. And I think obviously COVID made it worse.
Yeah.
And I think there's so much value in like collaboration and like being in person. Like if we were doing this over Zoom, it would not be the same.
It never was. Those
It
whole
never was.
Zoom shits were
No.
like, I felt like I was talking to a robot, even though it's
Exactly.
like I know I'm talking to my friend. It just feels like there's some sort of
A barrier.
filter.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know
like
what
a
I mean?
barrier
It's like
between
it's filtering feelings and emotions for some reason. So it was really odd, and I didn't plan on getting used to it as well. So I wasn't in the mind frame of like, this is gonna be the new normal. Like I didn't want to get used to that.
Yeah.
And and I know it lately. I've been noticing like we're almost too connected digitally, and then at the same time, it's like turning into this like morality police world where like people can't make mistakes. Like the Lizzo thing, for example.
Yeah.
I understand some of those stuff are kind of wild, granted. And everyone's feelings are valid in that, right? But I feel like everyone has people that they've wronged in their life at some point, and everyone has somebody that feels a certain way about them that if they were to tell the world, I feel this way and this person did this, even if it was 15 years ago, now you're a bad person.
Yeah.
There's no room for growth or any of that, right? And I don't know when the Lizzo stuff happened. I'm not an expert on that, but still, it's like, how many times are we just gonna keep doing this highlight of bad things that people are doing?
Yo, it's
unless
crazy.
it's like illegal or hurting people physically or mentally. I don't see a reason to just nitpick and character assassinate. It feels like what happened with Jonathan Majors, even though what happened with him like was warranted. This one seemed like a different type of. It seemed like a witch hunt to get her to look bad for once. It's like people are like, oh, you've been protecting her this long and she's been out here and she's not bothered anybody. And now all of a sudden they found one little chink in the armor and people started like digging up like, oh, we got her now. It was weird. It was really weird to watch.
Yeah, it's getting strange.
Yeah.
I mean, I think here's the thing. Like what you said, if it's repeated behavior in your heart, like R. Kelly, like put him under the jail.
Get out of here.
Done.
No question. Trey Songz next. That boy, nonstop repeated offenses like every
I didn't know about that.
Every couple months. It's pretty wild.
Wow.
Granted, we don't know the
3 girls in this city at least.
wow.
Really?
3 girls in Toronto.
Oh my God.
Jesus. I did not
had to
know
read up on
that.
I had no idea about
But
that.
yeah, he's been in the news a lot, and people keep saying there's gonna be a surviving Trey eventually, and it's just when you're a repeat offender or something, especially something that's harming
Absolutely.
people, it's like
You
I have no
gotta
remorse.
go.
Yeah,
You gotta
I have
go.
no remorse. But when it's just saying this person's a bad person because they hurt my feelings this time, I can't get on board with that personally. Like, yeah, they hurt your
Yeah.
feelings. It was horrible. Maybe if that's still that person, sure, judge them. But I'm not gonna. Especially, I don't know these people. I don't know these people. I don't even know the accusers. So I'm like, for me to pick a side is just like it makes no sense. And that's all I see people doing these days is picking a side publicly. And you're talking about the brands like fading off with the passion they had in 2020 and 2021.
Yeah.
Do you see? Because I do see some more inclusivity in beauty. Do you find that it's proactive or like reactive? Is
Half
it in
and
response?
Half and half. I think a lot of brands, when George Floyd happened, which is when you really think about it, like somebody should not have to get murdered for you to care about Black people. It's
pretty
Like
insane.
that is insane.
Yeah.
Hey, girl.
Yes.
Like the fact that it takes somebody having to die for you to care about Black people, and then to develop this acronym BIPOC or whatever. Is that when it came out?
Yeah.
Like that is insane to me. Like
That
you
shit
should
was
just
wild.
care about people because they're human beings first and foremost,
Yeah.
right? Regardless of their race, complexion, whatever. But when I saw that they only started doing it as a result of that, I was like, yeah, this is not gonna last. For the vast majority of people, I'm like, this is not gonna last. You're doing it because if you don't do it, it's going to cost you money.
Yeah.
As soon as it stops costing you money, you're not gonna care
Stop
anymore. You're just
caring.
gonna slowly float off. Granted, there is more diversity in beauty now than when we were growing up. 100%.
Definitely, yeah.
Visually, yes. Behind the scenes, not as much. And even like founders, right? When people are trying to raise money for beauty brands, Black founders always have such a harder time trying to raise capital than white people do.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's
That's
I
across
feel like
the
that's
board.
across the board.
It's across
yeah,
the board, right?
definitely.
But it's particularly ironic. Well, I guess you could say this about a lot of things, but it's particularly ironic in beauty because so many of the trends we see in beauty from
Are
us.
set from Black
And
folks.
it's just odd once you see like proof of concept with like what Rihanna's done and how she's been able to build her brand. You'd think that would be a prime example. And like in every other regard, when they see that the black dollars is there, they pour money into it.
We spend the most money on Black women spend the most money on beauty out of everybody.
Wow.
And there's so many different reasons for that. Some of the reasons are because we have to assimilate and look certain ways in professional settings. And then other reasons are because we just like to look good. We like to take care of ourselves. We're beautiful. That's a part of who we are, right? But you see the value in the black dollar.
Yeah.
And you don't want to cater to us.
I think that's the problem, is that there's still value in the black dollar, even though they don't have to cater to us. Why would they spend the money if we're still spending the money?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not pouring money into something that is selling itself.
Yeah.
I don't see gas commercials. You know what I mean? Like,
that's fair.
At the end of the day, if we don't stop putting money into it, they don't have any reason to put money into it.
Yeah.
Just like what happened in 2020, because we had the ability to just be like, yeah, we don't have to go out and get anything.
Yeah.
We don't have to support you online. And if that's taken away, we're not allowed outside. If we take away online for you, what's happening for you right now?
Yeah.
That's just why they're like, oh, we're sorry, black people. Like,
but I will say though, we do have more like black focused brands than ever, which is fantastic, even though like founders have a harder time. Like the fact that we can now go to, I was gonna say CVS, but since we're in Toronto, Shoppers Drug Mart, you can now go to Shoppers and there's like a range of black hair care products.
Big up Tiana West, my dog, Healing Color. Make sure you guys go pick up those Band-Aids for black people.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like now we have that. Whereas before, like I had to drive from Oakville to Mississauga at like the beauty supply store on like Huron, Ontario.
And that's deep.
Nobody wants to go to 5 and 10.
Nobody wants to go that far.
Right, literally 5 and 10.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you just unlocked a memory for me. Literally had to drive to 5 and 10. And this chaotic, like driving there is like almost like a death sentence. Driving there is crazy.
You might as well be in the Middle East. It's like there's no.
It's crazy. Like driving there is crazy. And you know, like just to pick up shampoo and conditioner that'll work for my hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now it's like we have so many products that cater to our hair and our skin and our complexions that white women want to use it.
And taking that you're in one of the most diverse cities in the world and you have that problem. Imagine a black girl in Wisconsin or Minnesota.
Or Winnipeg.
Or
You're
Alberta.
done for.
Or Slave Lake.
You may as well just
Oh my gosh, not Slave Lake.
You may as well just shave off your head.
Might as well. Maybe they probably do. Just finger waves for the rest of your life.
I mean,
that's crazy.
Probably couldn't even find the gel to wear.
Oh,
the right
no,
gel.
you need the right gel.
Can't find no foam wrap.
All they got is toothbrushes. That don't work. Yeah, what I was gonna ask about your interview with like Halle Bailey.
Yeah.
I wanted to know because I'm not an expert on this, and I always wonder like how these come together. Do you have creative control over the visuals as well, or is there a team that all just comes together and puts out a game plan?
Yeah. So when I was in-house at InStyle, yes, I did work on visuals and covers and those kinds of things. Because I worked on the Halle Bailey one as a freelancer, I just worked on like the actual story.
Okay.
So the EIC reached out to me, just told me what the concept was, what she kind of wanted me to talk about with her. And then we kind of put it together. But in terms of the visuals, they took care of that. Like their creative team took care of that. Yeah.
Okay. Dope. Yeah.
So what do you like doing, freelancing or being
100%
in-house?
freelancing?
Yeah.
I don't see myself going back to.
Yeah, because your announcement, you said it was like a breath of fresh air. Yeah. I feel like there was a lot of subs. This is the beat I heard in my head when I was reading. I was reading the caption. I was like, oh shit.
Scarborough man, creep.
Yo, she giving it to him right now. I was dying. And I was wondering, I'm like, the powers that be that know are the only people that know what this caption is really saying. Like, and probably close friends. But it's good to see that you've built up such, like I said before, such trust with brands, such trust with consumers, that you've built a name for yourself. Now it doesn't matter where you go. You can work for yourself and have that autonomy and still put out the same amount of output. You know what I mean? Like, how does that feel?
It feels so empowering. Like to be able to just, I don't want to say I totally depend on myself because obviously I have to work with other people.
Yeah.
But like to know that your name holds enough weight that you can still have the same lifestyle you had is
That's tough.
That feels amazing. You know, like I
That's
have
tough.
freedom. Like
Yeah.
today
Yeah.
I finished at 2:00. I went and I saw Alyssa and we chilled for a bit. And then I came here and my dad was like, isn't it so nice? You can just like
Do this?
make your day into whatever you want your day to be. And I'm like, yes, it is amazing.
It's great.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can like take a nap between meetings. I can do whatever I want to do. I don't have to answer to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I can do things that I actually feel happy and passionate about.
Yep.
I don't have to do like crap I don't want to do. I don't have to tell nobody I'm doing something. Like, could you imagine me as a grown woman
Yeah.
with a
Having to
grown woman
check
apartment
in.
and grown woman bills, asking somebody if I can take time off that I have accrued and it's my life.
Yeah.
And I have to
Yeah.
ask you if I can take time off to enjoy my life?
And they still
Are you
give you
crazy?
parameters around that.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Craziness.
Never again.
Never again. Man. I love
and
that.
I feel like in this day and age, you really don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like, and I get
There's
it.
so many
like, some
different
people- There's so many
opportunities.
different opportunities, but I get it though. Like the way society's structured, bills are on a schedule.
Yeah.
Right? You work in corporate, you get paid on a schedule. You have benefits, you have this, you have that.
Structure.
Right. Your taxes get taken out for you. When you go freelance, you have to be more responsible for yourself, but that also comes with more freedom.
Yep. I'll take the freedom over the structure any day.
Absolutely.
Any day.
Absolutely.
Because I'll figure it out. I'll make it happen.
Exactly. Like, listen, yes, you get a paycheck every 2 weeks, but you're freelancing, you're doing well, you're getting a paycheck every few days. You know? I'll
But
take
also,
it.
it's the
There's
waiting. The waiting for
net
the
30,
payments.
net 15, net
Yeah,
60.
you gotta put late fee clauses in
Yeah.
some contracts.
Yeah.
But I will say, for
I
the
have-
most part, it's been like people have been pretty good with me. Like I haven't had any major issues with
That's how I felt until this year. And
Dang.
I have a invoice that is 102 days late now.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
There's actually two
Yeah, and I
invoices
hate
that are late
asking
for the
for my
same
money.
people.
I hate
And it
asking for my money
keeps-
from friends or
Yeah.
people. Like,
Yeah, see, when it comes to that, like you gotta. That's the thing too. Is like you
I
have to
keep-
learn
I'm adding.
boundaries. You have to learn boundaries of people, and you have to learn who you can work with and who you can't work with. If people do that kind of crap, that means that they don't respect you. If people try to lowball you after you told them your rate, you gotta learn like, nah. Like there's a reason why you're coming to me to do this work.
Yep.
Because you know I have a certain level of expertise, and you want that level of expertise, but you don't want to pay for it.
It takes
This
that
costs
level of
money.
expertise, though, to get to that confidence level in order to be like, yeah, no, I don't need to work with that person. 'Cause
Exactly.
Yeah.
at first, when you're first
You
starting
just
out,
start taking everything.
taking
you know what
everything.
I
You just feel like,
mean?
oh my god,
I
where
have
is
to,
my next
yes,
check gonna
yes,
come from?
yes.
I have to do
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's fight or flight. So it's like once you get to a place where your self-esteem and what you actually can produce is at a good place,
Yeah.
that's when you stop taking bullshit.
That's
like
when you can start saying no.
literally, I stopped doing wedding. I haven't done a wedding all year for the first time in like 7 years. I feel amazing. Like,
You were the wedding guy.
yo, honestly, it's just perplexing to me because weddings, especially with what I do, any family member can do this. I
True.
don't understand. And all comedians, I'm sorry, just fast forward. I don't understand why you would hire a comedian, someone you don't know, someone that's not a part of your family, to share this moment and this day with you guys and not know any inside jokes. Like, you're just riffing, right? And people can come up there and literally, if you're a cousin or something, you say 2 words and everybody just dying laughing like you don't need me here. Like,
I mean, take the check though, like whatever.
I would take it, but it's like
He
goes
doesn't
back to the
love it.
structure thing.
Yeah.
Where I can't be me at a wedding.
Yeah.
I got to do what is told. I got to do what's
That's fair.
being told to me on a sheet and stick within these parameters, within this time frame. And majority of the time, I get there, and you know how weddings are. Nobody's on time. Everything's in disarray.
Did they at least feed you?
Oh yeah, they always
Okay,
feed me.
all right.
Yeah, but I end up being part-time wedding planner. Like I'm running around gathering people and making sure people are ready to go up on stage. All types of shit. That I'm like, I hate this. Like, I feel like I work at Ticketmaster. This is insane. Like,
my
it's just
God.
wild. It's just wild. So yeah, it's just a lot.
I like weddings. I'm not gonna lie.
That's your vibe though.
You like weddings?
I'm a wedding.
That's
guy.
definitely your vibe.
Because I don't know, man.
You could croon. You could.
I'm a wedding singer.
Yeah,
I
you
do
could
all-
wedding
Wow.
singer.
Hey, how's the food, guys? Let me check those.
I don't have that many bags. You have wedding bags. Like you can cook a 1-2. You could sing. You could juggle and shit. Like I can't. I can't do all that.
He's a full around entertainer.
It's always Filipino weddings though, so it's like I know it like the back of my hand. Every Filipino wedding is just like your cousin's wedding. So
yeah.
Everybody's family.
And if it was Jamaican weddings for the most part I was doing, I probably wouldn't feel away. Like the Jamaican ones I do, I love doing those. But it's all the other ones that I'm like, this is out of my wheelhouse. I don't even know what jokes to make, what are appropriate jokes to make, who to make fun of. Like, it's just so stressful.
Norm, remember the time where you got hired or asked to be the host of Anastasia's wedding and they said Rock Nation brunch attire and you came like you're dressed in the early 2000s with...
I think I was wearing that same hat that we was talking about.
The common hat.
The common hat.
You said that you would try to embody Jay-Z in the early 2000s or something.
Oh, no. Not change clothes era Jay-Z.
Gosh.
That's the worst era.
Well, I'm thinking Rock Nation. So I'm thinking Jay-Z. But it was Rock Nation brunch.
He's like, yo, this is the coolest wedding ever.
I really did. I remember when you told me. I was like, you're stupid.
And the mic wasn't working. That was
see, it's little things like those.
When you don't have the setup, then
it's little things like those, man. And then we need you on right now, and you're just like, what? There's no mic. You start yelling,
and then I ruined your big day. Like,
you know what I mean? That's the stress. Is I don't want to ruin this. Like you're gonna think about this night forever. And I'm responsible. I hate
think
it.
the a lot people of pressure that could really only ruin it is like the photographer and videographer because I feel like there's so much pressure for them to capture the best images.
That's true.
And so it's like, oh, if the DJ is like, okay, it's fine, but like if you go and get your photos, you're like, what the fuck? Like, I feel like more people would be.
Photography can be a big thing. Also, people's phones.
Yeah.
In the back of the ceremony.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
You've seen some of those, eh?
I would be pissed.
Yeah.
Like, you have to make a rule.
No kids
you
either.
You have to make a rule.
That's what my friend did.
No kids, no pets,
phones,
no phones.
Pets, yeah.
People
are
I've seen
wild.
people bring dogs to weddings. Yeah.
No, that wouldn't be at my wedding.
Yeah,
no. I just want like, like I just want to see people. I don't want to see the back of any iPhones. It just it just destroys your picture. Like, why? It's so weird that people can't just enjoy a moment, you know? And like, I don't know. I was even thinking about on the way here. I'm like, before like disposable cameras became like cool again, I was still like doing that. I remember one year for my birthday, I don't remember what year it was, but like I had come back to Toronto and I sent Martika actually to Walmart to find disposable cameras because they were impossible to find.
It was so hard to find.
They were so hard to find, but I never stopped developing film. Like I always love it. I still make photo albums. Like I still do all those things because I think it's so important to have those
physical,
tangible, those physical, tangible things. Because I'm like, yo, when I have children, what am I going to show them at the end of the day? My Instagram feed, my iPhone that will one day die and be thrown away. You know, like all of that stuff it's not real.
Yeah.
I have my parents' albums from like the 80s.
Oh yeah, I love those.
You know what I mean? I love those.
Pages still sticking together sometimes.
Yeah, like it's like these are cherished
back.
memories. Like I think that, you know, put down your damn phone and stop recording for Instagram for a second. Just like somebody you love is getting married. Like this is a big deal.
But we're the last generation to think this way. Like we are the
Everything
final
has to be a moment.
human beings. Do you guys realize that? Like, these kids born in 2000 and later are not human beings. Like,
oh my God.
We are the final, like we've experienced like real human life before all this technology stuff. Like, so we probably are just hanging on to memories. Like maybe our parents talk like this when they're our age.
When they're talking
you know
about
what I mean?
what?
Like I don't know. Like
TV
I used to crank that camera.
TV with the antenna.
Can't crank these cameras anymore. You just click. Yeah, no, I don't know. But
too easy.
For them, it was pre-video game era.
Oh yeah, pre-Atari.
Yeah.
But like, did video games? Was it really that serious though? Because I feel like.
Oh yeah. It's still that serious. It's actually more serious than it's ever been.
I mean, when we were growing up on Nintendo, our parents didn't understand it because they didn't have anything. They didn't have, I mean, what? You had Pong, Commodore.
But then their parents didn't understand because they didn't have TV. They had radio.
They kind of equated it to like cartoons. Like my mom would probably think like a video game was a cartoon because, especially when I was a kid, majority of the games I played were cartoon where they were shows like Sonic and Super Mario. They were all shows. So it's like you could. My mom probably just thought I was playing cartoons. Like she didn't know. She calls everything Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation. Everything's Nintendo.
Typical Jamaican mother,
right? And so I don't know, man. It's just things are getting weird.
I think that those social media made like it just made everything so much more different. Like I think video games is one thing, TV is one thing, but you can turn that off.
Yeah.
You cannot turn off social media. It's 24/7.
That's the problem. That's the
all
problem.
the time. Like magazines
always
were
around.
bad
Yeah.
back in the day because of the images we saw. But you can close a magazine, throw it out in the recycling bin.
Think of how many times you watched the news like back in the day. Like you'd see it at 6. That's probably about it. Maybe
could
you
do the
watch it at
morning
11,
time.
but that's you're not really feeding for the news, and you don't see news outside of that. You're just living your life. You're not in anybody else's life but your own. And now it's like
you're in everybody's life
24/7. You're in somebody else's life. Like,
and that's
terrifying.
Terrifying. And this is just like the beginning of it.
Oh yeah.
Now they're talking about whatever happened to metaverse. That's still happening. I stopped paying
It's still
attention.
going in, but nobody's really in there. It's the problem is that VR is so limited because you can't see around you. So it's like AR is gonna be where things really get spicy when you could integrate things into real life, like Pokemon Go, for example.
Yeah.
The way that went crazy, that was all AR technology, right? You're seeing a Pokemon over at Keelan Finch, and it's like, all right, look a big trio, all right, cool. But like you can still see around you. Like if someone walks into your room, you can still see someone enters your house, you can still see them. When you have that big ass VR, Oculus, whatever, you can't see shit.
Listen, I don't even bother with that stuff.
You will.
Yeah,
you will. It's gonna become so intertwined into regular
Web3,
life.
like all the things.
Oh yeah.
I just honestly, I'm just gonna hold off on that. As
You're a
much as I
traveler
can.
too, so when you start traveling and you want to look at Google Translate, put in your ear, you want to see certain things. You're gonna want to do it. You've been around like some pretty beautiful places on some of the trips that they like. Are they grooming you? What are they doing? Are they trying to get you to like them? What? I don't know what I want to know because the brands, it looks like they try to butter you guys up for better reviews, if that makes sense.
It's not really that. So typically press trips are just so you can like build relationships with brands. Because I think like the best way to build relationships is to spend time with people. And one way to get to know people better than to travel with them.
Yeah.
Of course, they're not going to put us up in like the Roach Motel.
Yeah.
They're going to put us up in a nice hotel, give us a nice experience, get us to try the products, get us to introduce to the brands, take us on tour to see where like the ingredients come from, where they're sourced and that kind of thing. So it's a really like immersive experience, but it's also like enjoyable and fun. You get tight with them. And then from there, it's like, you get a firsthand experience of the products and hopefully you like it, and then you talk about it in the best possible way, and then word of mouth, or you write press, you do like a social media post on it, or whatever the case is. So
have you gone on any of these trips and not liked the product and had to still talk about it?
No, that's never been my experience. If I do not like a product, I will just go to the PR person on the side and just say, hey, this broke me out, or I didn't have a good reaction to this, or whatever the case is. But typically like brands will have kind of a wide array of things, and at least one thing you'll kind of like. But I mean, it goes both ways, right? It's like you're having a great experience with this brand and you get access to a lot of things like through these brands. Yeah. Which also help you build up your own brand, and then you're also doing them a favor by talking about them. So it's like all relationships is transactional,
True. Yeah, and like I see, especially in the past, I would say year and a half, a lot of beauty trips have been under scrutiny.
By the influencers.
The influencer trips.
The influencer trips. Like, can you speak to that? Is that something that beauty influencers, is it their responsibility to vet that first? Or
I mean, it's kind of hard to do that because they're not the ones planning it. Right?
You know what I mean?
I will say though, like there is a lot of gray area now between editors and influencers, and I think, I mean, here's the thing: editors are the original influencers. Period. Like magazine editors were the ones from
who are talking about the products,
to tell people what they
exactly.
They are the OG influencers. But now because everybody has access to having a platform, right? Whereas before it was like you had to work in a magazine to have this kind of platform. Now that everybody has access to it, there's just, people that make a name for themselves on social media. Both things have their place and both things are important. But they have two different purposes. And I think now there's like a gray area because everything is merging into kind of like one thing. Yeah. So I think people who are traditional editors or journalists or had some type of like public job now have to straddle the line of like also influencer kind of thing, which I'm trying to wrap my head around.
That's tough.
Right. So it's like, I'm not a traditional influencer in the sake of like, I'm going to be like, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm trying today, right? And that's fine. Like those, like the people that do that,
There's a space for that.
they have their space for that. But for me, it's just I have a different approach to doing that. But at the same time, and especially now because I work for myself, I have to put myself out there in a way that I didn't used to before.
Yeah.
And I have to go out of my comfort zone and do that because I'm a very like to myself kind of person.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, I gotta take a picture on a
front-facing.
staircase.
I've been seeing you post more.
Right. And like it's just a part of what you
I'm
do.
in
You
that
have
same
to be
thing
visible.
right now. I'm like, I'm taking way more pictures than I'm used to
Right.
taking.
Like I'd rather just be at home, my plants, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, laying down, meditating, repotting some plants, you know.
But you can do that. You just have to have a video rolling, like the camera rolling.
But you know
Camera's
what?
gotta
I
be rolling.
actually keep that kind of stuff just
To yourself.
to myself because
Yeah.
I need
Something to
for
yourself.
myself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like my professional life, I put more of that out there than I used to. And I think that's fine. Like I'll post like a 1-2 plant thing sometimes. You see, I'm still Toronto man. I say oh 1-2. I'll post that like from time to time kind of thing. But I mean, there's certain things I feel like you still need to keep for yourself, especially in a world now where it's like everybody's expecting you to just like share your whole life online.
Yeah. You got the transparency is like the bread and butter.
Right. And people want, like, they think that they're entitled to know your
That's
life.
the problem with
And
transparency.
the minute you share something, they're like, well, we need to know what happened.
That's why it's tough for me to be vulnerable on social media.
Yeah.
Like if I'm going through anything, you probably would never know on social media.
No, and I don't think you need to share it. I don't think you need to share everything. Like people are like, you need to be transparent about, but no, I don't.
But the problem is I see it's like you see other people do it and how it's received, and you're like, oh, it's probably not that bad if I were to do that. But then you see those 1-2 comments where it's like those people are starting telling you what to do now, and it's just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm
Exactly.
good.
But also, like, you gotta like build a lot of tough skin. And I think again, being a freelancer and being an entrepreneur, like you learn to build tough skin. And you learn to just not care because it's like, yo, at the end of the day, I gotta pay my bills.
Tough skin.
I really don't care what you have to say.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
Do you want tough skin? You want soft skin?
Well, my skin is soft.
Okay.
You know.
So you obviously get sent a bunch of products to
Yeah.
try out. How do you?
How many?
I have a closet that's
yeah.
very full.
I don't do beauty shit, and I
And you
have
get bare?
a lot of stuff.
Same for some
you know?
reason.
But
Shade
how
boy,
do
she gave me.
you? Wow.
Sorry, that was an accident. I was moving.
This a makeup clown gal.
I'm working with them in a couple weeks. Relax now.
That was. We'll get that stricken from the record.
How do you determine which ones you want to actually test out? Because like you said, if something breaks out, then you're like, frig, my face is broken up, but I really wanted to try it out. Or you wanted to support a brand, you know?
It's trial and error, honestly, and that's just the thing. I feel like I've tried so many products at the point, my body is like
Chemicals.
Immune to it, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like has like a it's just like made of steel at this point. Like I can use a retinol every night and not get irritated.
Tough skin.
Wow.
There you go. You know what I mean?
Tough but soft.
Tough but soft. But typically I can look at a product and look at the main ingredients to kind of know if it's going to irritate my skin. It's not going to irritate my skin. I would say like my skin is pretty good. I am eczema prone in some areas, like on my hands and stuff. Like I have to wear gloves when I'm washing dishes. Bleach cannot touch my skin. That kind of thing. Fragrance I can't really use on my face. So if something is like fragrant, I know it's going to start irritating my face after a while. Body, love fragrance all over it. But I think after like being in the industry for so many years and kind of understanding formulations, that kind of stuff, you can kind of tell what would irritate me and what would not. But I will say most products are not irritating unless it's like an active. So like a physical exfoliant or a chemical exfoliant, that
Is that
kind of
those
thing.
like circle pad things?
That would be like a chemical exfoliant.
Oh, okay.
Physical is like a scrub.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah, and if it has like active ingredients like salicylic acid or whatever,
It
kind
will
of
say
thing.
on the back, active
Yeah.
ingredient.
Yeah, so if it has that, then it can potentially irritate.
See,
your
I just
skin.
look for 5-in-1, and I go with that.
That's the
gosh.
problem with That's the problem, man.
Is
You
that
wanna
the
use, like,
number
a
one
10
problem with straight men and beauty? Is that the number one?
Yeah,
like,
you guys want to use like a 10-in-1 body wash, shampoo,
Nigga, we ain't got time.
body oil.
We gotta
Yes.
be out here, be
You
a
have
man.
time.
What are you guys doing? You guys don't have anything to do.
Sitting there playing
We gotta
video
build
games.
houses and go to war. Like
Which building houses
You
are
guys
men
don't
doing
do
these days?
shit.
Virtual houses on.
Sims.
I can
On the
name like
video
3 or
game.
4 men that know how to use a drill. This generation of men are down
That's tough.
bad.
Not knowing how to press a trigger is crazy.
But it's true. It's so true. Like,
They know how to dance a drill, but they don't know how to use
right?
one.
Yeah, that's so true.
Hey, don't
Listen.
give these women ammo. What the
No,
heck?
but it's
This guy's
for
giving
real.
them bars. Yo.
Men need to learn these skills. Bring back manual labor for men.
You're a clown.
Stop it. It's facts.
Yo.
It's facts. Can you build things, Marlon?
I can build IKEA things, instructions. I can build things. If,
Okay.
yeah.
You can fix
YouTube,
things?
There's, yeah. I can,
Okay, all right. You see what I'm saying?
all I need is the
Medora
visual.
building some stuff?
Who?
Medora.
Building what? In her
your
life?
house.
Cakes.
Oh.
She don't build nothing but cakes.
I feel like she said there was like
she
IKEA
hasn't built
things
a single thing in the house.
just
Yeah,
sitting
right.
there and that she had to like get on it.
She's like, I'm a girl. Oh my God.
Yeah, but
That's
like,
what she says.
but it's true though. Like every piece of art in my apartment, like
Yeah.
I put it up. Well, my dad did come and help me with some things, but like a lot of it, I did it myself. Like I had to learn how to do these things, and I was cheese. When the day I had to buy a drill and a toolkit, I was pissed. I was like, why am I doing this?
It's that Bob the Builder picture with titties.
Yeah, the one with like the bamboo earrings and whatever. I was like, this is literally me. I sent that in a group chat. I was like, why am I doing this? What, like there should be men on speed dial that are able to do this. They don't know how to do it like how our dads did it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Equality,
See, my mom
we can
used
say
to
the
do
same
all
thing
that
about
stuff.
cooking, but
We
we can say the same thing about.
I do all of that stuff.
You're a rare breed.
Well,
You're a rare breed. It's just what shrimp Alfredo out here. Nothing but shrimp. Look at him. He says
not the Alfredo.
chicken Alfredo Torado. That's
Oh my God.
That's what
I remember I saw this tweet like years ago, and somebody was like, it's kind of hard for like a nigga to get Alfredo these days because of Twitter.
Jeez.
That's facts.
Jeez.
Facts.
Why
Man
it's
shamed
always so
Alfredo
bad?
for
No,
so long.
yeah,
Women are
now
like,
you're
nah, you're
shamed for
getting
making
ravioli, dog.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How was Bana for you?
It was great. It was so nice to be back. It
Who'd
was
you play
like,
with?
Tribal.
Tribal.
Yeah,
the
Mass
ones who
Destruction.
should have won.
Okay.
Where's the
Where is
thing?
it? There it
There you
is.
go.
Fourth
Not
place.
the X Factor.
Fourth place.
Everybody
even
saying,
see
yo,
the thing.
I'm sorry, Tribal
Fourth
was
place.
like amazing. It was beautiful.
Who won?
That
Carnival
that
Nations.
girl did, right?
Yeah, Cece killed it.
Cece. She did tribal.
Bodied it.
What was the
Yeah.
one with the big spider crawling along back behind?
I have no idea.
There was a big spider insect looking thing just following this one truck. And
I have no idea what that is.
it
I was
hitting
there for
everybody.
2 hours and a half. I saw 3 trucks. 3 trucks.
Yo, the problem is that people fucking stormed the area for you to leave your spot to go to the stage. And it took forever. It took me 3 hours to get from the parking lot that's across from the Intercare to the front of BMO.
What time did they
Yeah.
storm that?
From early, to be honest, not early, but like I didn't have to be there until 1 o'clock. So when I was there at 1 o'clock, Saldina was coming down around the corner, and it still looked like it was together. And then by maybe 2 o'clock, it was done. Like,
Is
we
it?
couldn't-
Where is
we
the
couldn't
stage?
even get
Where is
out.
the stage located?
It was right across from BMO.
Why isn't it in BMO? There are bleachers. That's where
actually
people
smart.
need to
It
sit.
should be in BMO.
No,
And no, there's never
but then
a game.
how are they gonna get the truck?
There's never a game.
There's never a game there. There's never anything
No,
there.
they don't do that time. I
Exactly.
did think about that.
Because
I did
it's
think about
like
that,
it's
but-
obvious. It's like right.
Yeah.
It's literally right there.
But
Like,
now they can't. Like they wouldn't be able to necessarily bring the trucks in.
How do they bring,
They'd have to bring new ground because they're not going to mess up the football or soccer field. You know?
well, so that ground isn't like it's not one of those like removable fields.
No, it's grass.
Oh, okay. Because
Oh.
usually you could be able to remove
Yeah, no,
the
no.
field.
It wouldn't be good.
That's tough.
They'd
Even
have to
even the
build
Coliseum though, it's not Coliseum, but the one near Liberty Village. You know that big park in Liberty Village?
Yeah, that's where Argos practice.
Like I feel like there's so many different places where they can be doing this where masqueraders can be isolated up until a certain point in time. Because this is the thing, like every year it's the same tweets the next day after Bana. I'm never playing in this city again.
Masquerader.
Stormers
or that.
This year was so dangerous. No, this year was really bad. Every year, y'all have Stockholm Syndrome and will not either leave the city or stop playing and strike. Like protests.
Yeah.
It's
You
such
know
a
what?
big money grab for this city that if Masquerader said, we're not doing this anymore until you take care of us properly, they're forced to. This is the biggest thing.
My only thing would be, I don't even care if the Stormers went on the actual road, like on the actual lakeshore. Getting from that fucking parking lot
to the stage,
I was
clear.
pissed the fuck off.
Yeah.
Like the truck driver couldn't even turn out the thing because people are over there. Some girl, like a girl from our that was in one of the sections, she was in a fight with people. Like they literally ripped her eyelash wig, broke a nail, all the things to her because they're just acting up. And it's like, bro, we just need to get across the stage, you know? And then when we got to the stage, they made us stay there for an extra like 10 to 15 minutes because a lot of people went all around the stage. And so the trucks are trying to come in. We got the trucks in and then they're like, yo, you guys got to move from this side of the stage. You can go to that side or that side. So they cleared every single person that was in front of the stage out. And it's like, you guys aren't making this like a good experience. If you guys just went to the road, all these trucks would be able to get out a lot quicker.
Yeah. Well,
and you guys
people aren't going to be considerate.
You could do that
because
but, like,
this is not Trinidad. Like
that's what
they
sucks,
don't have
though.
the education. They don't care. They don't know even why they're there. A lot of them. They just think it's a big party.
Yeah,
that's the
it.
problem though. Like with Caravana becoming so commercialized, and you can say this about Carnival anywhere.
Yeah.
It's like people just think it's about like, you know,
Dressing
shaking your
up.
ass out in the street and wearing a bunch of feathers.
Yeah.
You
Look
know,
at
like, that's
look at people on
not-
Halloween dressing as masqueraders.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like it's an actual cultural thing about liberation.
Yeah.
Like this is like a real thing. Like it's a spiritual thing. It's an emotional thing. It's a historical thing. And people just take it as like an Instagram photo op.
And people don't realize, like, I think people think of Caravana as like a whole route and don't really realize the importance of the stage and
Exactly.
how much people have worked to put
Hard.
into this one
Hours,
moment
like,
to be on
days,
this
weeks,
stage, right?
months,
So it's like
year. Like, you
the
know?
whole year is put towards it. So it's like I feel like you said, I
And
don't
it
have any
sucks that,
problem with
like-
people being on the street over there, and I'm not.
After the stage.
I don't
Yeah,
play
after the
mass.
stage.
And I
don't
do like
anything.
that they have you cross the stage first because before they never used to do that.
No.
Yeah.
No, but they didn't do that for, I think, Saldina. They went across they went on road first and then they came back
Really?
around. Yeah. And so in the morning, because they left pretty early, they didn't have anybody really mixed up in them when they went there. But once they came back around, all the Stormers were over there.
And you're tired. It's
Yeah,
like I
you're
should be able
tired.
to cross the stage at
Right
like
away,
9 a.m.
Yeah.
10 a.m.
That's what they all want you to do, but it never freaking starts like that. And the later it starts, the more people get there because so many people, especially if they're partying the night before, they don't want to get up and
People are
go
jab,
somewhere
jab.
until like 3 and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know what I mean?
But you have to anticipate. There are 2 million people that went to Caravana this year. They're saying it's one of the biggest turnouts of all time. When you have that many people going, and you're not paying marshals, you're not paying people to protect the band, protect the truck. Like when I go to Notting Hill in the UK, it's roped off. Trucks roped off, and there's about 30 mans around every truck in bright yellow t-shirts, and they're guarding the masqueraders. And then you'll see a rush of people behind that, and they're partying just the same way in the same street. But the masqueraders are fine; they're in their own spot. And so, why is that so difficult to do? Especially when you have so many volunteers that are a part of this. Why isn't there a rope being held around the masqueraders?
You know what the problem is too? The security guards, they be taking money from people to
Oh,
get
yeah,
in.
of course.
I'm standing there trying to get in to go to where my float was. And the man's over here with all his money, like just whatever, splitting it up with people and shit. I'm like, you're the problem. Like, lock this shit up for only the people that are supposed to be in here so that we can get anywhere.
They don't
You know
care.
what I mean?
What's crazy to me is that in Trinidad, not only they have the floats, they also have bars in between. Like,
Well, we can't sell and drink on the street.
Well,
Totally.
they were selling them anyways.
No,
you know, yeah, but I'm just saying.
but like legally, you're not supposed to.
yeah,
so
yeah.
you're not-
But I'm
like,
just saying it still moves smoothly despite having that many more trucks on the road.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
Same with
Trinidad's a
Notting
whole
Hill. It's
other-
like 100
Trinidad's
They
a whole other
understand.
situation.
Yeah. UK was like 100 trucks, bro. I felt like I was seeing trucks nonstop for like 8 hours. It was insane. So here it's like the gaps, especially in between trucks, is insane. Like we saw probably 2 trucks. We start looking down the road. Nothing. Like not even a thing in sight.
But that's the problem is because it was so hard to get to the fucking stage at one point that by the time you got to the stage, like the
other
next
truck
trucks
was
and all the stuff
been
is
gone.
gone.
Yeah.
And then it takes forever to clear
Domino
people out
effect.
and start again.
When I
'Cause
when I
we
saw
were there
your
for
truck,
so long. Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw you on your truck, I was like, "There's still more trucks coming? What?" Because I
Crazy.
swear that I was
a
like,
mess.
that must be done.
when I
guess
saw
there's
her
no
at
more.
the party, she's like, "Yo, we just left at 9 o'clock." I'm like,
Yeah. I got back to my seat, like back to the parking lot at 9 o'clock.
when we used to
And
live
they
at
were
Dufferin
still,
and King.
and they were still partying too. I was like, I'm out of here.
When we used to live at Dufferin and King, McDonald's would be clear by 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like the McDonald's right there would be empty by then.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone's
Everybody
already
would move
home.
to Young,
Everybody's
Young
already
Street.
home. Not even everybody's already home. Like the buses is filled with feathers. Like everywhere.
Eyelashes and feathers.
No, I'm not gonna lie though. This year was especially hectic to get out because I remember when you would finish at exhibition and you could like take the GO train, take whatever.
The bridge
to
was
leave.
closed. They closed the bridge a month before Caravana.
And I'm like, why
For
can't we exit
construction,
this
right?
way?
The week it was that Carnival launched in like the first week of July. The next week they're like, oh yeah, that bridge closed.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so we're having to like fight with stormers to get out, and they think they have right of way. I'm like, are you nuts?
They don't care.
You did not pay to be here.
Half of them are drunk. Yo, you know what the craziest thing is? Walking around seeing niggas in full hoodies, shiesty mask,
Full balaclavas.
full balaclava. Yo, I saw one man, bro. Man was in a full tracksuit, hoodie on, sunglasses, surgical mask, and gloves. I was like, oh, they looking for you. This guy's got ops, because he wants to go to Bana so bad, but he's afraid.
Or he's looking for somebody else.
I don't know.
I was near the end of it. I was just watching. I looked back and I seen this like younger kid dressed up, hoodie, mask on, the surgical mask, dressed up, had this bottle holding it by the neck, and he was rushing through, like speed walking. And I'm like, oh fuck! And right behind him was, I guess, his friend. And he had the shiesty and the hoodie and the pants, and then he had his hand in his pants. And I'm like, please don't.
Not right now.
I'm like, let me just
It's our first
Get
year
home.
back. Come
get
on.
home.
shoot
Like,
people.
Honestly,
Yeah,
like, stop.
please. I was like, I don't want
no.
to see what happens because I'm
Yeah, no.
stuck right now.
Yeah.
I was literally thinking in my head, if there was a shooting that happened right now, what am I gonna do? Because I was on the float. So I was like,
This
where
is
am I
a-
going to
this
hide?
is a
I
life
can't
we live in
run. You
now.
can't do anything. I was like, I guess I'm going to hide behind the speakers. Hopefully they'll protect me
We
and
shouldn't have
catch
to be
the
thinking about
bullet.
that. Like, it's
You
just,
shouldn't.
why can't we just have a good time?
I don't
Crazy.
know.
It could all be so simple.
And why can't we have a good time without Doug Ford? Why does Doug Ford have to show up
Oh, he was there?
at Caravana and attempt to wine every year?
Oh, my
He
gosh.
has to honor his brother.
all the
And other black people are there high-fiving him and
all the
whining with
politicians
him.
were there. All the
Yeah.
politicians, and it's like, please.
You guys are
That's a
sick,
jug meat.
bro. You guys
Yeah.
are sick panderers, man. If he could,
course.
and this is a joke. If he could bubble, he'd get more votes. That's how
dead.
fickle we are as a society.
Why-
so
If,
wild.
if,
That's so
if he
true.
give
Why
a
didn't Jack
Dugga
Meat
a
win
vote,
then?
oh my goodness, he'd be out of here. He'd be out
What a
here.
mess.
Jack Meat. That's how he blew up.
He
Yeah, I
was
was gonna
there.
say,
Because
Jack-
he was
was there.
bubbling.
Jack Meat's
He's
the only
always
one.
there though. He's a Soca warrior for
Guys,
real.
it's jug meat,
Jug meat.
Sorry.
even though it's pronounced jag.
I mean, yeah. And why can't the other thing is I seen people making their own costumes, right?
Really?
Yeah, there are people
Yo, on
making their own
TikTok?
costumes on TikTok,
so
and they
many
were
people on
really,
TikTok.
really good. Like it wasn't
Some
just
of
some
them,
like
yeah, some of them are really
thrown
nice.
together job. Like they took time and like
Wow.
made it really nice. And I seen people getting really mad at that. And I understand if like you're wearing it to Carnival and you're jumping on stage with it. That's super wild. Or you're wearing last year's costume. Seen people wearing last year's costume and going on road with it. But like if I make a costume and go on road, what's the problem with that?
I don't think there's a problem personally with like dressing up. It's
I mean, they
just
do that in
know
Trinidad. Like,
your
what is
rights.
it? The day before Carnival, they do like a thing where you wear like not Carnival costumes, but like
Is
it's
it
like
the Monday?
yeah,
the Monday wear. They
yeah,
call it
Monday wear. Yeah,
Mm.
Monday wear.
Yeah, I don't understand. I saw people giving girls like mad backlash for making costumes and wearing it.
I mean, as long as you're not trying to join a band wearing that.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Like if you're just on Lakeshore just chilling and dancing with your friends, I don't see a
I mean,
problem.
but people find problems with everything. So
Well, I
know
get it
that
if you
one
spent
person-
$1,000 and this person threw it together for $40.
And it looks better than this. That's why they're mad.
That's
I
why
saw
they're really
one
mad.
person say that she was like, yeah, like go ahead, make your own costumes, but just know that if you want to be where the parade is, you have to pay. And if you don't want to
$40,
be where the parade is and you want to stand on the sides and whatever and be respectful of the bands, then that's fine. But just know there's a difference between me and you. Like my costume that was paid for, that gives us certain, I guess, luxuries.
Yeah, that's fair. Me and Amanda decided to play Mass next year.
Yeah?
You should.
First time ever.
Yeah.
You never played Mass before?
Nah.
It's actually fun.
I'm a
you know?
stormer.
Gosh. Oh my God.
I'm a stormer. Check a call. Waiting on the stage.
You know what though? I think that you should. Like I played with. Well, I didn't really play, but I was with a smaller band, and it was okay. But I think with the bigger bands, they just try to, I don't know, give you. It's more organized. It's more organized, but you also get more luxuries. Like you, I assume, just went straight on stage, right? And you didn't probably have to deal with as many stormers as we did. So it's like when you get with those certain bigger bands, they get more luxury.
We'll see. I'll throw up a little draft combine.
Yeah. See if anybody will
See
give you
who
a free
wins.
costume.
I mean,
I played with.
I can
played
get
with
a
most
bunch of
them.
free costumes.
I played with
but
Nations. I played with Saldina. I played with Tribal. I played with Revelers. Those are
what was
main,
the best experience?
Those are the main ones.
Yeah, I've done them all.
Which one was your best experience?
Honestly, probably this one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tribal.
Tribal was great.
And
the band leaders were
fourth
amazing.
place. Fourth
I just thought the
place.
costume was beautiful. Like I thought it was gorgeous.
All of them were amazing.
They were
and
beautiful.
like I don't know entirely how it's judged, but I was told that the campaign leading up to it is a part of it. Is that true? Like
I don't know how it's judged. I
the
don't know
lead
what
up.
the criteria is.
Because if so, I don't see how anybody could be Tribal because they're like
They sold out like this.
they're the only one of the only bands that sold out every section.
Yeah.
Literally.
They had people on the timeline I seen all day being like, wow, Tribal really killed it. Tribal really killed it. And I didn't really see people talking about other bands unless it was disparagingly. So it was like, I was very confused. And then when Carnival Nations, people were like, okay, even Saldina I would have understood over Carnival Nations. And apparently like they throw out the highest and lowest score. And one of Carnival Nations' scores were 63 and 99. Tell me how two people could be looking at the same thing
And judging
and see
differently.
a 63 and a 99,
So
knowing that the highest and lowest score gets thrown out. Does that make sense? Or does that sound like conspiracy?
Someone got paid.
How does one person see a 63 where someone sees a 99?
How many judges are there?
There was a
bunch.
lot.
There's a bunch.
Yeah.
It's a whole committee, and people they were getting cussed out all weekend. It was
Where
bad.
are the scores?
I believe the band leaders get the scores, but CC had posted the score cussing out Toronto Carnival committee for cheating Tribal, and just showing people's DMs from other bands saying, "No, you guys won. This is bullshit," and it just blew up more.
Listen,
and more.
Tribal was great. Like honestly, I mean, obviously when you're on the road, it's chaotic.
Yeah.
But that's par for the course. But like registration was easy. I wasn't even in Canada. I did it like from the States online, easy. I just switched some sizes. The band leader was so accommodating, so kind, so nice. Last minute I had to switch something. Done, easy. They have people on the road trying to like with things to help you fix your costume if something decides to break off or whatever the case is.
Oh,
like,
that was nice.
They were great. You
well,
know
her
what I mean?
parents, she grew up in Carnival, right?
Yeah.
Her parents handed it off to her. So, I mean, I seen her do it,
It's
I think,
tradition for
over
her.
in Barbados as well,
Yeah.
or Antigua, Cayman.
Yeah.
And they had a Lululemon sponsorship and a whole video series to go with that. I was like, yo,
They did Uggs.
They're killing
They
this.
did a campaign for Uggs.
Wow. Like, they made it really like professional, if that makes sense. Like, it's not to say other bands aren't professional or haven't done professional past. I'm not tapped in like that. But from what I seen, I was really impressed with Tribal.
I think that they did amazing, honestly. My section leader, Tabia Charles, was just like fantastic.
I love that.
I had such a great experience this year.
Yeah.
I have no complaints about it. The only thing I will complain about, again, and I hate to do this to Toronto men, but Toronto men, come on. Fighting women for food. Like, we were at the truck, and it was, and my girls, like, they're like little. They're like petite girls, and they're trying to reach up for food, and there's mans like fighting them for food. I'm like, you can't just let women get food?
No couth.
Like, I'm just like, Jesus, have mercy. I left this place 6 years ago, and you guys still acting
See, those
like
are
this?
American niggas, though.
They were not American.
They were American man still. There was an influx of American mans here this weekend.
I know they were American mans. That was very Toronto man behavior, and I was very much so like, come on, man. It's not everybody. It's not everybody, but generally speaking, I'm like, Lord, things have not changed.
It's so funny. I seen a girl tweet this week. If a guy's treating you well this weekend, he's American, by the way.
Oh, jeez.
And I was like,
wow.
Listen, Toronto man's got.
I wonder why.
On our name,
but I wonder why. It's so funny how passport bros are okay
Here. But no.
Isn't that interesting? Niggas who come here for vagina and for women, they're okay. They're good guys. Oh, and they're so sweet. Like, for 48 hours, they're so, oh my God. It's very interesting.
I don't know.
Just had to point that out.
I don't know. I can't. I wasn't there for those purposes. I wasn't checking for anything. But like, I just noticed some of the behavior, and I was like.
But you do know women that do be checking for the American
I'm sure
men.
that they're, yeah, of course.
I seen TikToks. I seen all types.
I mean, that's always been the case, you know, but at the same time, like, there were some parties that there were certain famous male celebrities there, and there was a lot of male presence there, more so than women.
Oh, yeah.
Which was interesting.
That's what Toronto's known for, male groupies.
Male groupies, and I was like,
ugh. These niggas love these guys.
Fighting women for food, I was like, all right, I'm starting to get the itch.
I would never see a nigga on a flyer and be like, I need booth bottles.
That's what it was.
Let's go, man them.
That's what it was. And I was like,
that's crazy.
It was crazy. And I was like, oh, like, you guys are fighting women to like be like stepping on people.
Like, what would you do if you were at Lavelle and your man, like, LeBron walked by and your man, like,
I'd be a little.
I'd just walk away.
Would you get the ick?
Yeah.
But it's LeBron. It's the greatest player.
And that's okay, and that's fine.
It is LeBron, though. You know,
what if it was
fine,
like,
but like LeBron is a human being.
It is LeBron,
he's
I
great.
guess.
He's amazing. Wonderful basketball player, but he's a human being.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah.
I just know that the nigga
what if it was
is
Jeff
gonna go
T?
after.
Like wearing the man's jersey to his party. I'm like, he's not gonna notice.
Yeah. That's bad. That's bad.
It's not gonna make him notice.
Oh,
you
let me wear my
were
LeBron.
doing what? Wait,
he's trying to get
hold
it signed.
on.
He's trying to get it signed.
Cleveland, Miami, who was it? If it was
there
not
was
the
an
Lakers.
assortment of all of them.
Wow.
There was multiple jerseys in a LeBron party.
Yep. So that was strike
I
one.
believe that.
Strike 2
Yo,
and 3.
you niggas
Strike
are
2
sick.
and 3 was when you're fighting women for food. You're fighting women for food.
Where? What was the food?
That
Where
was when
it?
we were on road.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Like, you're literally reaching over
About
women
to
to try
say,
to get food.
Depends
Like,
on where it is. Though.
are you good?
Rasta pasta reaching over?
Yo, it was actually crazy though, like, because there was no, I don't know, I didn't see, like, you had to get to either end in order to leave to get into the food areas.
Nah, like, the trucks had food. So like, when you're playing with the band, like, there'd be like maybe like 2 or 3 trucks. The last truck was the food truck.
Okay.
And these trucks are moving, mind you, and they're trying to serve you food, whatever. And you're reaching over a girl who's beside a moving truck, reaching over her head to get chicken and rice.
Instead of just helping her.
Instead of just
You niggas
helping
are
her
homeless.
get it
Help?
because she's
Like-
closer to the truck and just being a gentleman, like, hello.
Yeah.
I would be.
This is what happens when you spend your savings on the costume.
No.
I'm just like, damn.
Guys are hungry. Yo, that's
Whatever
crazy.
happened to women and children first, you know?
Right?
I mean, that's
it's
long
terrible.
gone. That
terrible.
left when men stopped using drills.
We need another war to get
So-
respect. We need another war. That's the
But I do
problem.
wanna
You know,
say,
it's been too long between
There'd probably
wars.
be too many women that had to go, forced to
But
fight.
I will say though, like I
Now.
don't know what, and it's because, and I can say this because I've lived in Toronto and I've lived in the States. Like there is a difference. It's not to say American guys are perfect. They're not. Like men are. There's crazy men everywhere.
are
There's
men
great men.
everywhere, yeah.
Exactly, men are men everywhere. But there's just something about men in Toronto. I'm like, what is?
I
in
feel
the
like it's
hard
less
water
personality.
here?
I feel like it's less personality. I
don't
feel
know
like
what it
because we're very
is.
standoffish and like New York, there's a certain vibe in New York where it's like I might not see this person ever again or like meet them ever again. So let me like
I
talk
wouldn't say
to
that,
you
'cause
like in a
circles
different
can
way.
still be small in New York. I
Oh
wouldn't
yeah,
even
for
say
sure,
that.
for sure.
But I'm
Especially in the
just
media
like,
section.
I would never. There's never been a situation where I've seen men fighting. Like aside from on Twitter, like I've seen men fighting with women for food, or like men fighting with women for whatever. Like men, I find are more accommodating to women there, generally speaking,
Yeah.
again, than they are here.
Yeah.
Like stepping over women is crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like they misunderstood the whole idea of what a rude boy is. Like maybe a bit too rude.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why we're like there's like a certain like for example like there's certain when I go out in the States like I'll see mans they'll get bottles and they'll start pouring the drinks for the girls.
Yeah.
Girls get the drinks.
Girls are
then
taken
the
care
man
of.
all right, yo. Here it's like man
Yeah.
and have the girls just sitting there.
and the girls are just sitting there like
there.
can I get a cup like
I text Marlon.
oh yeah
May I have some?
may I have your bottle? I was like
Yeah, I texted
Alicia
him.
what the fuck I'm like go ahead.
I was like, can I have a drink? Like, can I pour some?
The parties were great this weekend. The parties were really
Yeah.
good this
I didn't
weekend.
go to many, but like the ones that I went to
was
were
a nice
cool.
vibe.
But I was going to say about the groupie thing. I don't know which party it was, but some guy was like talking to me. He's just having a conversation, and he stopped middle of his words, dropped his mouth, and was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Cardinal official," and I was like, "Bro, Cardi's literally." Every fucking where.
But he's a legend still. If you never seen him before,
I
it's
mean,
like,
he is,
yo.
but like, these people are human, and maybe it's just because of the line I work. I do like, I don't get crazy about celebrities, but I'm just like, they're just people.
But I think also you got the job you do because you don't go crazy over celebrities. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You have to to enter this type
She
of
wouldn't
world,
have
you
the
have
job.
to have
She
a
could
level
get
head.
it. She could get it, but then it wouldn't.
She'd get
She wouldn't
exposed.
be. Yeah, she wouldn't be able to keep it.
Yeah, no.
And she wouldn't be able to build more
Sneaking into dress
relationships.
rooms.
And shit like
Yeah,
that.
I have no interest. in
Sneaking into
that
green
kind of
rooms, like,
stuff.
can we get a pic? Can we?
I have no interest in following around. I don't even know who NBA players are anymore. They're all like 24. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Out of your age range.
Yeah,
now.
I'm good. I have no interest in like following famous men around. That just sounds like problems and headache. I want peace in my life. I'm good. Like I can work with you, talk to you, interview you, and like that's the end of it.
Yeah.
You just feel so big when you ask for a photo with somebody.
I can't do
Yo,
It
it.
does feel bad.
I the first photo I got with Michelle was at his roast.
Oh yeah, ever?
Ever.
Wow.
I was like, yo, Mosh, you know we've never had a picture together, bro.
See, and the sad
I
thing
don't
is
wanna
that
ask,
things
you
like
know, it's
those
so
further
big.
your career. That's the sad thing. It's like those
But
things add
also,
credibility to you.
you have to
and
do it in a way that
make
makes
people
sense.
view you
Yeah.
in a certain way. Yeah, for me, it's like everything has to be organic.
Yeah.
It has
Like
to be organic.
I'm not gonna just stop you while you're talking to someone for a picture because I'm leaving, and I didn't get a picture with you, so now I gotta
Yeah.
stop you in the conversation. Like little things like those is like I don't know. I feel like I've had and I've acquired way better relationships with people who are like celebrity like or famous to an extent because of the fact that I'm not like that. I'm not
Yeah.
indulging in those like little superficial things. Like I actually want to build a relationship with the person. So yeah, I don't know. Like the time Kalani invited me to the studio, I could have been in there fucking videoed up. She wouldn't have cared either.
But that's not.
But I'm
it's
just
not even like the time to do that. You know.
Yeah.
that's
I
what,
feel
but
like
for
that's
other
such a
people, they don't. There's
private-
no time. Like
Yeah.
there's no. It doesn't matter where I am.
Yeah.
I'm doing this because I know what it's gonna do for me, and I just don't have that.
Or
I don't have that
I
dog
don't like
in
the
me.
people that literally just go to places where celebrities are just to get the photo and nobody. You don't even say your name, like you don't even talk to them once, and it's
Wow,
just like,
yeah.
yo, let's get this picture, and then it's like, yo, nice meeting you, bro.
But they do that
They
every
post
year
it and
too,
be
and
like,
that
yo, nice meeting you,
Yo,
bro.
in the lab
like,
with so and so. Like
Yeah.
you were in the
hashtag
lab.
working.
In the
Come on,
hashtag
man.
working.
He was in the back.
Yeah.
He was
You a
chilling.
scientist.
People are
That's
just
the worst.
yeah. People do too much, and it's just like
But you know, okay, so you said it's really awkward to even ask for the pictures and stuff like that. And you worked with Marshall for a while, and that sucks that you don't have a picture with him from when you guys did work.
Yeah.
Because that is a memory, and that's something that you could share with like future kids or your nephew or whatever.
Yeah.
So it kind of does suck that you don't feel comfortable enough to take pictures with these type of people because you think that somebody's gonna have a negative like
reaction to it or think of you in a certain light. Yeah.
Like that sucks.
I will say though,
if I interview somebody, I'm gonna take a picture with them.
Right.
You know,
At
But
the
you do
end
it
of the
after the
interview.
interview.
when it's all
Yeah,
said and done,
yeah,
I
yeah,
well,
yeah.
can we take a quick picture?
See, me, even that, I'm like, I'll let you go. I know. This is like, I'm constantly thinking of how many people have asked him this, right? Like, I think it's the same approach when like I was single and talking to him and like, I'm like, I can't be the guy that just goes in and gives the eyes or hey, like she's getting probably 20 of these if I'm thinking to do this.
Yeah.
So it's like, you gotta be different and like be organic, be yourself, be authentic. It's just, it's very odd these days when you don't know people's intentions. And with that, I don't know how someone's gonna receive me doing it, even if it's from a genuine place. So that's why I don't even bother.
But
I do have one photo that I'm very proud of though. It was of a sloppy, drunk Shaggy at Marshall's house. But he was like, "Hey, Chinese boy, make me a fried rice." I was like, "All right, I'm gonna catch you when you're slipping." And he was eating the rice.
Nice.
I was like,
click.
Gotcha.
He's gonna say it wasn't me. Dad joke. Oh man, what's next for you?
Oh my God. Whatever life takes me. Whatever
Stepping
happens.
into her influencer bag.
Just stepping into like the next chapter. Honestly, like I'm open to whatever. I would just want bigger and better for myself.
You gotta do a callback.
Yeah, like it's just that's actually a very special song to me. I appreciate that you played that.
Hey.
But yeah, just
it's one of my
stepping into
favorite
whatever.
karaoke songs to sing.
It's so
ever.
good.
Yeah.
It's fire. But yeah, just stepping into whatever is meant for me, just being open to everything, coming out of my comfort zone more. Because I feel like whenever you, like, whatever's on the other side of fear is always good. It's always good. But you have to step outside. You have to have, like, the courage to step outside of your comfort zone to get there. And so, yeah, just doing that.
It's never as bad as you think it's going to be.
It's never as bad as you
and
think
that's
it's
what
gonna be.
makes it so good. I
Yeah.
feel like the bombing.
When you realize?
Bombing is like, when you bomb, it's like, nobody really cared. And they're probably not even going to remember this.
Yeah.
It's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you
Thank you.
to be doing this stuff on your own, to get that breath of fresh air.
Thank you. It's been great.
And for it to be successful. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you.
Like, there's like not a lot of people that build up enough credibility in their own name, like much as people have their brands, but like you're building it in your own name. You know what I mean? I think that's really cool. So
Thank you.
keep it up.
That means a lot.
Manifestation moments.
What would you like to manifest? We have this power where we can just manifest.
You need some like
whatever you
magician music
want.
or something.
It's me. I'm the power.
And today's a good manifestation day. It's 8/8.
Yeah, that's what
It's a good
And I was
manifestation.
born in '88.
I want to manifest more ease and more money.
I like that.
Yeah, more
Easy
more
money.
Ease and more money.
That's gonna
More
come.
easy, more
Yeah.
money, more easy money.
Yeah.
That's a nice little dancehall tune.
There you go.
So you're gonna make it?
Hey, who knows, man? Who knows, man? Thank you so much for coming through. Really
Thank you for having
appreciate you.
me.
Big up, Kayla.
Hey.